Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the CantinaMX podcast, special Gran Final edition, first leg edition of the CantinaMX. There is a dog barking in our.
Yep, I'll log off, guys. Sorry, I just got a microphone right now.
Okay, well, looks like we got a random logger off. That's fine. You can stay and listen. That's okay.
Yeah, no,
I'm stay and listen.
Logging out. Bye,
All
guys.
right. Well, I'm not sure who that was, mystery man, but we would have gladly have had you at least listen to the show. I mean, good Lord. Anyway, my name is John Jagu. We've been off for a couple of weeks. Thank you guys for joining us. We've got a lot to talk about. We have the Liga MX first leg final between America and Tigres, which ended in a 1-1 draw, a result that I'm sure both teams will be happy with. We'll be talking about that and some other topics with our usual table of just amazing panelists as we close the year here in 2016. Start off out in California with Joel Aceves. Joel, good evening. How are you, sir?
Buenos dias, John. Doing pretty good, man. Just got done watching the game. I enjoyed the violence. Despite that, I hope Gignac is fine, but it was good to see both teams, going all out.
Yeah, there's no question it was a tactical match, to say the least. We'll jump into that. Joel, you have to be, I wouldn't say happy, but your Chivas have signed a new deal with another television company. I think only making the inevitable jump back into linear broadcasting inevitability by signing with Claro Sports. At what point, Joel, will Chivas be back on televisión abierta?
Their contract is for a year, I think they're saying, with Claro Video, but it's still internet. And, the way I see it, the people that can afford Sinopolis Click and Claro Video, it's the same people that,
They can afford Chivas TV. So they're not really expanding their market. They're just making it easier.
They're just for the people that could already afford it.
It's not. Well, see, it's not necessarily about the money, though. What it's more about, though, is that they know that they could not. They don't have the capacity or the structure to be able to stream a video to, potentially hundreds of thousands, if not millions of viewers. They don't have the capacity, so they have to make a deal with somebody who does.
And they did lower the prices. So they're going to lower the prices. And it's interesting. Higuera did an interview, and he admitted that they made a lot of mistakes he even apologized to the Chiva fans for all the bad,
And did you accept his apology?
Nah, man.
Not yet.
I'm not.
No. You're still listening, but the ice hasn't melted with Higuera.
The only Americanista I would accept in Chivas is Peláez, who actually wore the Chivas jersey.
So that's the only one that is allowed to cross the threshold there at Verde Valle.
Hey, man, Higuera, to me, is an oportunista. More power to him. But I don't like when you're like the CEO and you're pretty much running the whole team,
Now, can I ask you a personal question?
Just let me finish. Yeah, but especially if you don't have like a background in football, he never played, or he was never involved with a club long enough to pick up a few things. He mostly just the millionaire playing manager.
Does your severe distaste for what's happening right now at the team that frankly your heart belongs to? That's not a lie. Your heart belongs to Chivas. You've said it many times. I mean, how can you not just hate yourself for having? I'm asking as a friend, seriously.
Yeah,
It's gotta be hard. It's gotta be hard, man.
Yeah, man, it's tough, dude. It's tough to follow the team because, to me, it's more than just a team. It represents the city, and it's a part of my family, like tradition. So it sucks that it just how it gets treated overall, and it always seems to be up for grabs.
Well, it seems to me, Joel, that there might be light at the end of the tunnel for you, because the moves that are being made seem to indicate that there's going to be a major move at the end of this whole thing. And I think it's going to be something that could end up being very beneficial for Chivas. But so we'll talk about it later. I mean, we did have a fight. We can't make this the Chivas. We already have like 8 different levels of Chivas chat on Twitter. We don't need to make every show. Well, Joel's the opportunity to. Of course, I did ask you the question, so it's probably my fault. to just pour your angst, your Chivas angst out. It's like you're venting your Chivas frustration every week here on the CantinaMX.
It's almost like a support group.
Exactly. like, hi, I'm Joel. Hey, Joel. Everybody's saying. I've been a Chivas fan my entire life. They first disappointed me when I was 5. But I'm on my 3rd day of not thinking about how disappointed I am, so thank you for that. So it's got to be rough. It's got to be rough. And I'm sure other Chivas fans that are listening are probably going through the same thing. So
No, you know what? I don't want to extend this chat, but my fellow Chivistas, they're getting caught up with all the smoke and mirrors. They see all the numbers and exciting stuff.
Yeah.
20 million for Pulido.
Well, see, money, as
17
we all know, money is like the least important statistic of what Chivas is doing.
Golazo de Pulido in practice.
But Joel, one day it's going to happen for you, my friend. You're going to be able to do this on this show. So I think that should be motivation for Chivas. If Chivas won the title, would you belt Guadalajara for us on the podcast?
I would leave that for Juan. He has the better pipes. He screamed a golazo in another one, and I was impressed.
Well, all right. Well, we'll move on, Joel. We'll let you. I know that you've got a lot off your chest. We'll let you recover a little bit and listen, and we'll move on. It looks like, speaking of Chivas fans, well, I'm not sure what day it is today. I don't know what the schedule says when you're at Camgarrayas, which team you root for on what day. So we'll have to ask him. Of course, we're talking about Juan Uribe out in California as well. Juan, how are you, sir? So now Juan says he's on, and now he's lying to us. So, which kind of sucks because I did waste a very good intro on him. We'll have to. Hopefully, he'll come back. Out in Kyle, Texas. The guy who posted he was wearing a Tigres shirt tonight.
Yeah.
Are you that much of a Villamelon that you wore a Tigres shirt? Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, I got it on. Sporting it.
Now, do you wear the Tigres in honor of Tuca or just because you like the shirt?
Of the 2 teams, I'm going for Tigres, and the Americanistas playing dirty, man. They're roughing up people.
What's up, dudes?
So, he did join us. Juan, it's Thursday. I'm not sure. So what day on Thursday? Which Rayas do you support on Thursdays? Still nothing from the Camera Rayas. So maybe he'll hop on. But anyway, that was Alberto Chiquiscampa that just tuned in. Albert, how are you, sir?
Hey, doing good, everybody. We're a little upset of the Huilas doing their dirty tactics during this game, but
I mean, as opposed to when America does their dirty tactics when there's a game on.
Anytime they get on the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you're so surprised, but you know what? Every team should do the same thing. So now we have a gentleman who's joining us who I think when his team is in the final should get the proper introduction instead of all the ones that we like to play to upset the Americanistas out there. Ronnie Luna is with us out in Philadelphia. Ronnie, your Eagles did the Cowboys a huge favor for tonight beaten Giants and given Dallas the number one seed in the playoffs.
Nice.
I'm sure that the Eagles fans were.
I actually wanted the Eagles to do good, to have at least have life going towards the last game of the season. Just to see them suffer. But
I am not gonna lie.
I normally don't root for the Eagles, but I was rooting for them. I've been rooting for them because I wanted them to go into the last game of the season with the chance of making the playoffs,
and then
have Dallas just rob them of any sort of opportunity. But you can't have everything go your way.
Well, I got to think that the businesses has to be better for y'all when the Eagles are playing.
Not believe it or not, no, because the restaurant over here in like our university, if we hosted Cricket World Cup, probably.
The Cricket World Cup?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Cricket World Cup. It seems like the students over here don't really care much about pointy ball.
They're snobs.
Look at those brutes and their helmets and shoulder pads. Well, that's I feel like the whole town would just be in a better mood if the Eagles were doing it. Because that's what happens around here when somebody's just tearing into that. I hope it's working out for you. I hope the prize is good at the end of that.
Is that your opinion, Agancito? The 2-pack
Actually, it's Ronnie.
does Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening up a wrapper.
Yeah, I'm eating a granola bar.
Dang, dude.
Se está comiendo un Snickers el güey.
Cambiarrayas, is that you?
Hey, John.
Cambiarrayas. So again, I'll ask for the third time. It's Thursday. On the Cambiarrayas schedule, what team does one support on Thursdays?
I don't know, man. Jolie, what'd you say?
Wait, I'm not
guessing-
Cambiarrayas, dude.
I don't change teams, John.
So you're a Pachuca man through and through now?
No. Look at my avatar.
Well, see, that's I mean,
Avatar is Cambiarrayas as well.
that is a major
America to Chip.
Cambiarrayas. For those of you that can't see, his Cambiarrayas is Cuauhtemoc Blanco wearing a Chivas shirt, which means that Cuauhtemoc himself would be a Cambiarrayas. So it just, I think it was subliminal.
Hey, well, Qual showed us the way,
Well, let me ask you this: as our more of our tactical guy, did you get to watch the final?
I watched part of it.
In the part that you watched, were you amazed with the sheer tactical brilliance of each team, or were you like, man, this is really effing going?
Yeah. What was the second part? Effing
boring.
Yeah. What's funny? Tigres try to protect their lead, and that backfired big time.
Well,
They got the away goal, though.
Wait, John. Me and Ron were discussing earlier that doesn't count in the final, right?
No. The away goal in the final doesn't count at all. It's just aggregate.
It was that there was this little kid and they were showing him on the Univision feed.
Which kid are you talking about, Hood?
Yeah, you know which one, Ron. Come on.
Okay, all right.
He's a wheelchair-bound kid. They did the sob story, and they said, they were highlighting this kid that wanted to be a goalkeeper, and he got some disease, and he's bound to a wheelchair now, and he collects all these jerseys, and they were asking him about the game, and he said he wanted America to win. He didn't want Tigres to score because of the away goal rule.
Is someone watching Crocodile Dundee?
Poor little guy didn't realize that but in the final, the way goal just it is not the tie. It's just full score, and then if it's
And
tied,
John-
we go to extra time.
And I remember when they took that rule away.
Well,
It was when
they still scored in the Azteca.
it was.
You have to go to the volcano and do something.
Yeah,
There was
this
after
game was always going to be decided in the second leg, unless one team won 3 or 4-0. So this is like just the first half of the game.
Karma is going to get him, especially with that laser dude that was pointing the laser.
You know, I'll tell you what, though. The best part of watching that game is anytime Guignac gets the ball. It kills some of the boring.
He
Hey.
handles the ball very well for a big guy. There's no question. That's one of his strengths.
I like the roughhousing though. I don't know about you guys, but they remind me of some of the cascaritas I would play. They're just as violent, dude. If not more.
Now, Gignac scored the goal, as we all know, in the very end of the first half, and then he actually just stole the ball from the guy, took it from the midfield stripe all the way down, and then nutmegged Moises Munoz with a toe punch, which, I mean, frankly, is that not the ultimate? Just, you know, like one of the worst ways that a goalie can get beaten is a toe punch through the legs.
I don't know if it was a toe punch. I think it was with the outside of his.
Oh, it was a total toe punch. It was a toe punch.
It was the outside of his right foot.
Tres dedos?
Yeah, it's like, whatever works. No, it was a. Well, I guess a tres dedos, but still, it was a great goal.
That was sort of expected though, because whenever the goalkeeper comes out that way, I mean, the only way to sort of protect your both sides is to spread out like that, and you expose yourself to getting nutmegged.
He jumped, though. I don't know if you guys caught that.
That was a mistake. He was like way in the air. Usually a little bit lower, and it'll still nutmeg. It'll still work. But he was like way up in the air. That was his.
He was probably expecting Guignac to, place it a little higher.
Yeah.
Well, he was expecting Gignac to use his left foot is what he was doing, so they totally caught him by surprise. Which is why it worked out so well.
But I was impressed with the way he smoked who was it, Goltz?
Yeah.
Just past him and not far enough to get to the keeper, and just placed it awesomely. Just smoked him really, really bad on that play. Pretty impressive.
So Beto, you thought that America played dirty?
Oh yeah, man! From the very beginning. Even the fans, the guy pointing the laser got caught by the cameraman.
It only got triggered, huh?
Like what about that like rugby tackle at the beginning of the game, like that type of dirty, or?
Well, that was just Pizarro, man. That guy's known to be sort of like rough a little bit.
I actually thought Pizarro was the man of the match. I thought that he pushed the dark arts as far as he could to stop plays, and in the final, that's what you have to do.
It's one guy against the whole team.
Now, Beto, you were wearing your Tigres jersey, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were Pumas.
I have various jerseys.
Are you also a Cambia Raya?
He is a Cambia Colegios.
That's
or Cambia Gato.
He transferred, dude.
Cambia Gatos, that's a good one.
Cambia Gato. I thought he was a Cruz Azul fan.
No, man. Not me. Actually, I do have a polo.
The Cambia Gatos, that is hilarious.
Because I thought Chiquis was a Puma.
Yeah. Pumas is my best. Pumas number one.
Now, Ronnie, as an America fan, when they had the penalty in the first half, which was God love Oribe for pulling that one off, because that was impressive that he got that call.
Unfortunately,
let's be honest.
I actually missed that play.
Yeah. Well, you saw a replay of it. I'm sure you saw a replay of it.
No, I didn't get to see the replay. I mean, obviously, I knew that they got awarded a penalty, but I had to take care of some things here around the house. I was talking to the Popos, and I came back, and it was like 1-0 Tigres. I'm thinking, crap.
Let me explain something, John. Well, we were in the pre-game or the pre-show chat, and all of a sudden Ronnie disconnects when America goes down. He doesn't come back on.
That's not true, dude.
It doesn't come back on until they score and tie it. So I was like, oh, that's
Really? What an amazing coincidence. So,
John,
He gave
so,
us
so,
a story.
so the Chota comes by at the minuto 43, right? And then they leave in the minuto 74. Is that what happened?
No, there was an assault outside of our building, and obviously, we have cameras and stuff like that. And I think it was a student that got assaulted. So obviously, I had to provide the police officers with footage of what went down. But
But again, the timing was impeccable. The time it just happened to happen in that window.
it did.
That is absolutely incredible. That is absolutely incredible. That's
Yeah.
when you have luck like that, Ronnie. I mean, you have to think that your chances are good, right?
Yeah, and the guys thought that when America scored and tied it up, that like I came on and they think that okay, I came on just as America tied it up.
Oh, so it's just an amazing coincidence. Well, that's very interesting. So then you have no idea how they scored the goal either, right?
No, I did see that.
Oh, you did manage to see that.
Yes.
That's very interesting. It's very interesting indeed.
I did see that.
Okay. Well, I feel bad then because I really wanted to ask you because it seemed like if you're a fan base that constantly believe that has the in their mind the unqualified opinion that the referees are 100% against them, and then they get a call like that.
Now, not against them. It's just I think that the pressures, calling a game against when there's America, I think that sometimes
you're saying America's in the refs' heads, and they don't want to show too much favoritism.
Okay, well, I'll put it to you this way. And it does exist. There was Real Sports. Real Sports had a segment on baseball umpires and the calls that they make, but there's actually technology that can get the calls 100% accurate. And obviously, you have your traditionalists that are opposed to that, because it's still part of the game. But they brought in this like economist dude that also, I think from MIT, I forget what university, but for like 2 years or so, if I recall, the guy was studying the calls in Major League Baseball, and he found out that home field advantage did exist in baseball. At a the officials, I guess, subconsciously they were, calling for the home team because I guess that, because they were feeling the pressures from the crowds and stuff like that. But they proved that there is a home field advantage in Major League Baseball because of the amount of calls based on, they were seeing what was actually thrown and what was being called. So I still think, and I'm a firm believer in this, that in Mexican football and Mexican soccer, officials have a hard time officiating against America. Maybe I'm not saying that they're bottom, or I'm not saying that they're doing it just to fuck with them. I'm just saying that I think that I guess the pressure of not wanting to seem like they're in Televisa's pocket, they tend to call games a little different when they're when America's there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Again, you think America's in their heads?
I think so. I think there's an extra pressure that teams don't want to, that umpires don't want to.
And it's especially bizarre that it's the quote unquote good ones, right?
Which one?
Well, I'm just saying, just in general, end up getting the studio arbitro gig after they're done.
Like the Paul Delgadillos and Archundias and those guys, the
Arturo Bricios and Mario Rubio. I don't know if he actually got the airtime. It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Bonifacio, what's his name?
Oh, I call Boniface. I can't remember him.
Yeah, Boniface or something
Yeah.
like that. I forget. Yeah, I forget.
I miss him. I like what he used to have to say. He was,
Kodesar, Yamasaki, all those.
yeah, exactly. So, well, it ended 1-1, but I was just it's very unfortunate though to not get your perspective on the play because well, it's just I guess we'll give you I guess our best interpretation of what we saw. I saw Oliva take advantage of contact and then land on the ground, look at the ref, and go, "Did you see that?" And then he got the call. And
Do you think it was a penalty?
hell no, no chance. It was minimal incidental contact, and he went the full Aaron Robin. I mean, he Robinized that one for sure.
What happened was he kicked the ball with his leg up in the air, and when he brought his leg down, Dueñas was already underneath his leg, and Oribe actually sort of brought his leg down onto Dueñas' leg, and then he proceeded to twist his body around to get
man. Exactly, he went the full Robin. He totally bought. He totally sold. So and then he didn't make it though. He didn't do his due diligence and he missed the shot.
And maybe there was a sniper in the stands.
Well, the sniper may not have hit him directly, but he obviously heard the bullets whizzing by. There's no question. And my favorite, of course, is when he lands. He's looking right at the ref. You know, I mean, at least when that happens, I mean, at least have the wherewithal to not look at the ref and make it look like you weren't expecting to be hit. You know. So he missed penalty. Gignac scores, and then they get one, which is what teams should do if they're having like the schedule that America's having all running. If your team is doing this, you just don't have that much time to practice. What is the one thing you would practice? If you had like maybe 2 hours or whatever it was in a day for 2 days a week.
I would practice set pieces. I would practice give and goes.
Would you practice? Practice anything else than those two things.
Anything else from those? Oh, what I mean, like you said, like aside from like the give and goes and.
No. I'm saying like I always think you should only practice set pieces in situations like this.
I would do the set pieces. I would because I think it's going to be I think it's going to be one of those games come Monterrey where it may be settled on a set piece.
Right.
The give and goes. I don't think that sending crossing into the box is going to be efficient. I think.
I thought he was sending someone to work. You want to hear that? Keep talking to me.
That's what I would work on. I would like to have seen the players take a couple of shots, outside the box, rather than always trying to walk it in or give and goes and triangulate it in. It seems that, sometimes they want to, pass it like that extra pass. And I don't know. It's just I think sometimes those guys. They have a lot of players that can hit it well from the outside.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've always thought, and this is just something that I think plagues not just America but Mexican soccer in general, is that need to make the extra pass or the extra move instead of just taking it when you have it. But that's a topic for Coach. You're playing a tournament. You only have maybe one practice between games. You only have a couple hours. What do you do with your team?
If you know the opponent, I think it's different. If you're familiar with what they do. And it's interesting you bring this up, John, because I read an article of Pep Guardiola and how the English Premier League is different because they play they play a lot of games, so you get 2-3 days to prepare for the next match. And what they said is, instead of doing practices and having the players train and going over certain scenarios, that they show them video or they show them pictures of certain situations that they want them ready for. So, in the professional, in professional soccer, I think it's different. Youth soccer, you'd probably, you'd still keep working out, all the basics, and maybe throwing a set piece or two. But it just depends on the team. But La Volpe, he's known for working a lot on set pieces and jugadas de pizarrón. So it's not surprising.
Tuca's going to play cat and mouse, so you know they're going to sit back.
So it looks like they were both playing that. Though.
You know what?
Tuca's going to sit back. Sit back. So the thing is, sending crosses into the boxes, to me, I think is just stupid. So take long shots, try to pull markers onto, try to have defenders come onto you as you're taking a long shot and try to open up another passing lane. And like I said, I honestly think that set piece. I think that it's going to be a set piece that's going to for either Tigres or America. And it's funny because this comment was made a couple of weeks ago on one of the talk radios that they said that La Volpe. No, I'm sorry. One of the shows that saying that La Volpe is playing like a La Puntista. And
I believe it was you that said that.
No, I was just repeating what somebody else said. That what's his name? That La Volpe is playing like a La Puntista, like he's trying to play the percentages. And if that's true, then I think that a set piece may be what they're going for.
You know what? On that corner, the defending was horrible. I mean, these guys never even looked to check where their mark was. They were just watching the ball the whole time. I thought it was horrible defending.
Yeah, I mean on set pieces, America's, believe it or not, with La Volpe, they've started to do pretty well with set pieces. And that goes back to what we've always known about La Volpe. That La Volpe is always, he's always stressed, those set pieces.
I thought La Volpe was attacking football and possession and.
Well, remember one of the things that during his tenure as the national team manager, that for the corner kicks he wouldn't cross into the box. He would basically pass.
Recentro.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he would try to do.
He looked for the secondary ball.
Yeah.
I mean, even the goal they scored tonight was a set up for a back. Even though it was a front post corner kick, it was a back post play.
So So
in the first game in the World Cup, the first group game against Iraq, they did it with Guille. Remember that that one picture?
I felt so bad for Guille after that, man.
And one of the reasons why he would also do that is because he felt that sometimes that kicking the ball from the corner kick directly, when the team would head it out or kick it out, that sometimes on the counters it would give the Mexico a disadvantage because they're trying to scramble back. So that's why he would try to do that that recenter, where you kick it out towards the front of the box and then go for the back of the second post.
That's how they scored their goal against Argentina. You were there, weren't you?
Right. Well, honestly, to be brutally honest, I was there, but I didn't see it.
Rafa,
were you talking to the Popo then too? Did you have to talk? Did you talk to the German Chota?
No, John. When you're pitch side, when you're pitch side taking photographs.
I know what you mean. You have tunnel vision. You just see what happens.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's like I've watched the games from the 2006 and 2010 World Cup, and I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? You know, like I'm like, when did this happen? When did this happen? Because you're just looking at that little lens, you know, and obviously, where I was sitting when I was sitting pitch side, the Argentina match, the goal was on the other side of the stadium, the field. So I did get a good view of the Maxi one though.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that one you saw right in front of me.
Yeah, that one I did see pretty well. You know, like
God damn it, man.
you know, I did see that.
Yeah.
Hey, did the RG Press when that goal went in? Did they celebrate?
You know what? Believe it or not, obviously they did, but when I walked for that game, I had to walk the entire length of the sideline. Like I walked the entire length, and then so I walked basically half of the stadium to go into the tunnel to go back into the stadium media center. I saw fans, both Mexican and Argentine players, or the fans, just like hugging each other and just congratulating each other, because I think the Argentine fans were just as shocked that they came out with the result because they weren't expecting it, and then I think in retrospect they knew that Mexico played better that game. Unfortunately,
did they really though?
From how I saw it, I mean, from how you saw it on the field, and granted, I didn't watch it like you guys did, where you have the entire field, but it seemed that Mexico had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the only reason I say that, and this has always been my huge sticking point with whether people remember this game.
Now,
2000. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Was okay. So they scored the goal in like the 4th minute, and like 5 minutes later, Borghetti had a shot. So like in the first 10 minutes, they had 2 shots on goal. Great, what a great start. Well, that was the last time Mexico had shots on goal.
Things changed,
and that's the reality. Just that they were just playing defense, and anytime they have offense, it just nothing happened.
You could tell things changed when when Pardo was taken out, if I recall.
Right, Dorado had to come in. Yeah, Dorado had to come in.
So I mean, you could tell that there was
another one now too.
Yeah, there was a shift in that, and you could sense it. But now going to the next World Cup, when Mexico gets eliminated again with Argentina in 2000 and over there in South Africa, obviously Mexico got hosed with that goal. Yeah, with under Aguirre, and it was not the same. I think the Mexico fans were just so frustrated that they were just throwing fights. I mean, I saw a shitload of fights. Yeah,
that's when they attacked the Guilla.
Yeah,
you know what the worst part about that 2010 World Cup is for me? It's I'm sure is that I always thought that they had just a crazy talented team, and I just thought that they just wasted it.
Well, yeah, on paper they had a very talented team, but I've always said that the team was in transition, because in one of the things that pisses me, and I don't want. That's fine. I don't want to
new guys instead of the old guys. It's get them ready.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I don't want to drag. Talk about the whole the Osorio and stuff like that.
No. Hold on. They gave the new guys a chance. Remember that game against England?
Yeah.
That was their chance to prove they had this stuff. And
are you kidding me?
They shit the bed, dude.
In a friendly?
Nope.
Yep.
That is so. If that's true, that is so nearsighted and just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous.
That was their chance. If they were ready, they would have shown it, man. There's no hand holding. Either you got the stuff or you don't. And they simply weren't ready.
I guess I remember that game differently than
I mean, the I don't know if you remember Michael Cox Zono marking, that website. That he, based on that game, he called Mexico the dark horse country. Go ahead, Beto.
Yeah. So explain to me. So they were so terrible that they got labeled a dark horse.
No, they just couldn't finish, man. Here, I'll link the article.
No. Believe me, I remember. I watched the game. I saw them consistently not finish. So I don't know. It just seemed to me like in the Argentina game, they got hosed, but like in the first 5 minutes again, they could have scored 2 goals. And they just
that too.
So
That sucked.
see random guy. See random guy could just like pop in like every 5 or 10 minutes and give us like a 3-word answer. Just wham! It'd be terrific. That would be terrific. So
man.
So Ron, I do understand what you're saying when you're at an event, you do have a certain kind of tunnel vision, and you're just like focused on things beyond the game. So I totally understand that. So, but it was unfortunate though that you did miss the penalty. The penalty tonight.
Raul Jimenez would not have missed.
Raul Jimenez has never missed. Did y'all know that? He's taken 15 penalties as a professional, either national team or with his club, and he's never missed.
Yeah. He should take them all.
He does something. I'm not sure what it is, but he obviously guesses right with the goalie.
You better not jinx it, John.
Oh, I better be quiet.
Watch him miss at the Confederaciones.
No. All you had to do, Juan, was just say, "You better shut up, John," and then you're the one that started to blab. So
No.
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Juan. So be careful with that. Be careful with that. Now, Juan, we have to jump into this whole Chivas thing a little bit more. Not because we want to, but because I know that the like a kettle to the boil. You got your stuff off early in the show, but now I'm sure it's been bubbling up, and you probably need another few seconds to just vent a little bit. So I will have to ask you. So I guess the thing that I find interesting, Juan, is who they made their partnership. They made it with Claro, right? And then who owns Claro, Juan? Slim, right? And what is Slim going to have starting next year that he hasn't had before?
It's not a done deal, but it should be nationally syndicated TV.
They're going to have an over-the-air channel.
Yeah, over-the-air, because in Mexico, it used to be just two over-the-air TV stations, which is Televisa and TV Azteca. But the government has made it so it's going to be 4 TV stations. So Imagen TV is the other one, which is what I find interesting, John, is Grupo Pachuca is going to be shown on Imagen TV.
Well, Imagen TV is also the company that owns Querétaro, if I'm not mistaken.
And there's
so now there's going to be 4 media companies.
Claro TV could be the 4th. And
but that's what's going to happen, Juan, is that there's going to be 4 media companies that are going to own teams.
Yeah, so that's gonna be
Imagen own?
Querétaro.
Oh, okay.
And so, I mean, that's obviously like anyone that's followed Mexican football long enough. We all know the shift that happened when TV Azteca entered. Because when you had the whole, you had a lot of shakeup with at one point they tried taking away the TV deals from Televisa.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying, and I guess that's the point I'm getting at is, with 4 viable media companies, this is an opportunity for CantinaMX Futbol to really exert some independence here.
Yeah. Televisa could. Televisa they have the stronghold on the national team, but in like how we saw this summer, Slim bought the rights for the Olympics.
Right. So I guess that's my point is that what if Slim says, hey, CantinaMX Futbol, how much does Televisa pay you to they don't pay you anything? Well, guess what? I'm going to pay you. How about $100 million? Well, would that be good?
No, but I mean, Pemex Food aren't the top guys. Pemex Food, they're all Televisa guys.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But it's the owners, right? The real power.
The owners. Yeah, well, the owners. No, but I'm saying like the president.
Well, what I'm saying is how can they? How can they in their right mind not take that?
No, yeah. Ultimately, they'll have to put one of their guys. They'll have to vote. They will vote in one of their guys in, and then Televisa's getting. Right now, they're getting checked by FIFA for some supposed
a shell company.
So yeah. So interesting stuff.
It was a company that bought the rights from FIFA that had to sell them to Televisa.
Yeah, interesting stuff how it just came out, the timing of it.
Are you saying, Joel, that there are other things afoot?
Could be, John. Could be. I mean, I wouldn't discard it. It's been, the way we've seen it in the past. It's been pretty dirty. They it's trying to overthrow them and they'll,
Are you on board?
Pull no punches.
Jolie, should they be overthrown?
I don't know, man. I mean, for all the bad that people claim, there's also equal amounts good. They did bring 2 World Cups to Mexico. And
there's no reason that they can still be a part of it. I mean, but they can't. They can't share all their. They can't carry all the politicians in their pocket like all the nickels and dimes.
Yeah, for some of our younger audience, before when it was just Televisa, when Televisa was the only over-the-air station, they would pay teams per game. That's how the contracts were. So they would basically put whatever price they felt was fair, and they would just pay them per match. And around the time that, Imevisión became TV Azteca, and it was over the air as well, then.
I'm curious in what other country the main media companies have a piece of the national team. I'm curious if that happens in other countries.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think, because one thing I think would benefit is we had something similar to the Premier League, where the whole league gets sold.
MLS.
That's exactly what that has to happen.
And then that guarantees some of the smaller clubs a bit more money, because as much money as we see in Liga MX, you see the smaller teams constantly going bankrupt or broke. So the Pueblas, the Jaguares, San Luis, all these other teams that are constantly, they lose all this money. They get new owners, so they go to second division and then come back up. And if you look at the owners and how many times they've changed, it's quite a lot. So
I'll tell you, I agree with you on the Premier League thing. I've always thought that the Liga MX, with 9 games, can do a really good job of putting together. Not everybody has to play at the same time every week. Just mix up the schedule, and have a Monday night game. I think it would be terrific. I think it would be a great window for the league, because especially in the winter, because there's really nothing going on. The European games were over at 4, so if you want to watch a good soccer game on a Monday night.
Yeah, but John, with with all these TV stations owning teams, you know, would they ever even come to an agreement?
Well, see, and that's the thing, is that that's honestly the big sticking point with this whole thing, is that there are no rights or league rights because of what you're saying. It's just, it's very frustrating as a fan.
Speaking of frustrated fans, I got a clip of some Chivas fans after they lost to America.
Poor Chivas.
Oh, I thought you were gonna bring up
¿No te gustó?
Tony pointing the laser.
Willy Peña,
¿Por qué?
porque casi no hizo ni una y no defendía nada.
Siempre es la misma pendejada que hacen las pinches Chivas. El otro año, ¿qué pasó? Perdimos y aquí en Jalisco, cabrones. Que no chinguen. Pagar tanta pinche para este pinche juego que nos den, que no mamen.
Oh,
I agree.
Wow. I don't think anybody could have said it any better than that. It's funny because Juan, when you speak so eloquently about your frustrations as a supporter of the club, with how you describe the situation and in your mind the missteps that Higuera has made. All you have to do is just say what that lady said, and we'd all get it. It was short and to the point. This past week, FIFA announced their monthly fine schedule after the games in November. And interesting enough, Mexico again was fined for the Puto chant.
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
And these fines coincide with Christmas. Interesting timing.
Well, I mean, it was they always do it 1 month after their last date. So it was interesting. But they got fined for the chant for chant that they did not in their own stadium, but in the away stadium at the U.S. stadium. And so there you go. So at what point will Mexico either lose a match or get dock points in the hex?
Hey, but none of the teams had points deducted. All they got
I'm saying ultimately that's like how many steps is it going to take before it gets to that? Because that's the path Mexico's going.
Well, I don't know, man. Because Croatia, they had like a racist chants, and the only thing they did to them was, I think they gotta play 2 games in an empty stadium. And
wait, wasn't Panama doing the chant?
They haven't released the fines for the second day. It was only the first day. Those are still under investigation over at Shea FIFA.
Nothing will happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, it's just and again, it's not if they have a problem with it, then it's a problem for Mexico. And the sooner people realize that, the sooner all this will be over. And again, I don't think it's anything anyone's going to miss. So hopefully they'll. And again, and I stand by my statement that if the Melissa just got one of their awful, like boy band, whatever, just awful conglomeration of kids, whatever and make them the quote unquote it group. Let them sing about it, celebrate it, and then it'll be over in a week. It'll be done. Everyone will hate it because they'll be told to like it, and then it'll be over.
Yeah, I don't get the fans' fascination with doing that. I thought it would have been over by now.
Right, and the worst part about it for MX Futbol is that they're knowing that they can't stop it. They're left with trying to explain to people, it's not homophobic. And whether it is or it isn't, FIFA considers that it is, and they're the ones that make the rules, and that's the problem. So until that changes, their only defense is you have the cultural, and FIFA don't care.
FMF needs to make a bigger effort and go and educate them on their cause if they're gonna, because they appealed it last I heard, and so
Exactly.
they're going to fight it. If they're going to fight it, they need to educate and explain so they won't continue to get these fines and stuff.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Is it the faster they normalize it, the faster it goes away?
Yeah. They're rebellious fans.
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
And the mindset of these guys.
So.
Scumbag fans, though. I got some Americanista post-game audio for you guys here real quick.
¿Qué le pasó a Iñak? Se fue. No aguanta el juego, es una chingada Barbie. No aguanta. ¿Es cierto?
It's messed up, man. Missing on Gignac after he got
Hit in the
calling him a Barbie and stuff, man.
Hey, has there been any updates on his condition?
I don't know. He got hit right at the base of the spinal column, man. He did not look good. You know, and I gotta tell you, I watched the game with the trash talking Guarita earlier. She had some very interesting comments about that, but the first one that cracked me up because she was looking at America's uniform, and she's like, "That is just blanche." Because she thought that it was just terrible uniform. She says, "You know, and the cream thing, I don't understand." I said, "Well, that's just they look blah." And I said, "Well, that's their nickname. They're the cream, the cremas." And she went, "Oh," she said, I thought the nickname was blah," because their uniforms were just. She did not like them, but she had some choice words for Gignac too, until she saw the replay and then realized what had happened. So she was trash. She was talking trash. The trash talking Juanita. So.
What team does she root for?
She doesn't really have a team yet. She doesn't like Pumas because she thinks it's the shirts instead of having the cool cat. She thinks it's the Decepticons from Transformers. So.
That's clever.
Yeah, so she doesn't like Pumas. So it's like, all right, you know.
Yeah, you know what? They look like scumbags, especially with that logo. I agree.
What I should try to do is just try to steer her toward Cruz Azul, so that she can, after dissing my team, she'll have to
forever disappointed.
have to suffer with that. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a great tradition.
No, you want to disappoint her. Send her to Atlas.
No, that's true.
Because
Cruz Azul
hey, I want to stay married. I don't want to.
That would be pushing it too far, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
What was the reason for divorce? My husband turned me to Atlas man.
Atlas man.
The heartache and disappointment. So the thing, actually, the thing though is that it's. I mean, as an Atlas fan, I mean, how can you just ever get your hopes up for anything?
It's 65 years, man.
Hey, they're sub-20?
I mean,
nobody cares about those one.
Chivas is as bad as that.
The vitrinas are probably filled with sub-20 and sub-15. That star's still not going in the jersey, man. They go in 100 of those.
Hey, they might start putting them in the youth jerseys, though.
Well, yeah, that would probably help with some of the,
So they just renovated Estadio Azteca and they put these weird, like scaffolding over a section, and they reduced the capacity from. I guess it used to be at one point 112. It's now like 85 or 88. It's like under 90,000, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Because they hicieron más palcos.
Right, exactly.
They're jacking up the price.
They have little mini canchas on the side. Did you see that? That's pretty nice. They had like 4 or 3 little mini canchas
For warming up.
For warming up with like goalposts and stuff. They're pretty cool.
Interesting.
Right there on the right side behind the benches. No.
They still haven't decided whether they're playing their March game yet. Which to me tells me that they're not going to play it at the Azteca, and they're trying to make a schedule work for somebody.
Do you think they got a stadium ban?
No, but I think that they know that they will, and I think that they're gonna. I don't think we see Azteca until the 4th game.
Which game though? The Costa Rica game?
I bet you that's played in Monterrey.
Because didn't Osorio said that the players wanted to be, they wanted the home game to be played somewhere else?
Well, Juan, I mean, honestly, the base of the Mexico's national team, there's how many guys did we figure out who had like 10 players play at sea level that have started one of the last 4 games or have started they'll play at sea level. Why on earth would they want to play 2 miles up?
I agree.
Yeah.
But to me, it was interesting that Osorio said it was the players asking for it.
Well, I mean, the players want to, they want to play well. They don't want to run out of gas at 50 minutes or 55 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, these guys play like in the night in colder temperatures, and then you throw them in Mex at altitude, put them in the middle of the day. It starts affecting them too.
Yeah, but if it backfires,
it's been backfiring, man.
Dude, they can't get any worse.
What I'm saying is, well, I don't know, but to me, in a way, he's throwing the players under the bus because he's saying, "Hey, this is what they want. I really don't care."
Why is he throwing the players under the bus? I mean, if anything,
because he's exposing.
Yeah, but this isn't a bad thing. That's what I mean. There's nothing bad about
it. The press, you know how the press is. So,
but it's CONCACAF, man. We should be able to be anywhere in Mexico, man. We could play in Toluca's. What is that university stadium they're using?
Hey, well, if they let the Nads host a team in a high school stadium,
there it's not like there's no really strong team that we need every advantage we could get.
Well, what I'm saying is that the advantage that we used to have, we don't have anymore. So, like you said, I mean, play somewhere where the players aren't at a disadvantage. That's all I'm saying. So it shouldn't matter whether they play in Monterrey but don't play in Mexico City all 5 games because they're not going to play well. Right? So if they're going to play well there, why would you play there?
All right, I'm still stuck on this though. To me, the fact that Osorio revealed the players asked for it, it bothers me. I think
why.
He's revealing, information that they relate to him, conversations. It doesn't sit well with me because.
So saying that he revealed some.
Well,
like he exposed some secret coda.
It is not a big secret, probably. I mean, it's obvious to everybody, but I think the fact that he's got a like saying, oh, the players asked for it. It's like a shield for him to protect himself from criticisms or questions about the move or any repercussions if there were to be any. That's how I view it.
I can see your argument because why don't he say himself if he agrees with the players in the first place?
Yeah,
that we should play out of the bus instead of saying, "Oh, the players want this." The player, like.
Oh, for God's sake! You guys are looking way too much into this.
Well, the press is going to slam him. The press will slam him. Like if he says that and the press doesn't like it, or Azteca's going to give them a huge advantage, they'll rail into Osorio and he'll be like, "Oh,
press been slamming them for."
They've done nothing but slam.
He doesn't want no more of that. He wants to be in their good graces again.
I don't see it. I don't see it as bad.
It's no big deal.
I think the way he is, I don't think he did it to do that. I don't think he's that dumb. Like the last thing he wants to do is.
Yeah, I just don't see that as a controversial move at all for any reason.
It's no big deal, but it's like whenever you never gossip and say something.
Look, if Mexico loses in Mexico, they're going to trash him regardless of what decision. If he plays in the Azteca, you know what they would say? Why is he still playing at the Azteca? Why did he leave us? His players said that they have to leave. If they lose in outside of the Azteca, why didn't he stand up to the players? I mean, come on. Whatever happens, they'll trash him either way.
He didn't stand up for the players. Like when they lost against Chile.
Yeah. Well, Joel, you're an Osorio hater, so if Mexico loses, what would be if they lost outside of Azteca and in Azteca? What would be the reason, or for winning, for winning?
First I'd like to say, to me, I see it more as him trying to put some pressure on the Federación to.
You're going soft on Osorio, aren't you, Jordan?
No, I'm not. I'm
You're going all soft on him.
No, para nada. I'm pretty, with my points, I like to be fair. Fair on my points. I criticize him when I feel that when it's bad and when he does good, I give him,
So you keep an even keel. You're not biased at all. You're just
yeah, because there's been coaches I didn't like La Puente. If you ask me now, I'll tell you he's.
Would you have tolerated him a little? I've always wondered this about people that didn't like La Puente. Would you have tolerated him just a little more if he didn't wear that goofy hat?
No, I actually like that.
Oh, so the hat was his saving grace. He'd be a real jerk if he wouldn't wear that hat.
Wait, just to do the full circle. It was La Puente. He gave us one of the most boring ever finals, which is when they took away the goal advantage. The away goal was the Celaya Necaxa final, which was 1-1 in Celaya.
Didn't Hugo Sanchez play in that? Was it in Celaya?
I don't know. It was I don't remember Butragueño. I don't remember who. I think he came after when they brought the Butragueño and Miguel or
Michel, the goalie.
Michel, there you go. No.
Michel was a forward.
But I got him mixed up.
But yeah, and then the final game was 0-0. So 1-1 and 0-0 and Necaxa won on the away goal. And, I just felt it was so boring given that just how stacked Necaxa was and how I just expected them to be more offensive, and they seemed to have parked the bus, and Celaya, the small team, was just trying and.
You know what I would be curious to see as an exercise, to look at the last, I guess since the short season started happening, how many Mexican coaches that were either Lapuentistas or Boristas or Lavolpistas have won championships, or like what school of coaching has done the best in Mexico?
Well, Chepo has 2.
3, sir.
Oh yeah, 3, and Piojo has 2, right?
Right.
Romano, does he have any?
He has subcampeonatos, dude.
I mean, Tuca has how many? Like 7?
11,000. I don't know. Yeah, he's got a bunch. How many did you win with Pumas?
He won 1 with Pumas. He won 1 with. He won 2 with Pumas.
Well, Sanchez has 2.
Yeah, Hugo Sanchez has 2.
You guys count Hugo as a Lapuentista?
No, as a Borista.
A what?
Bora boy.
Oh, all right.
So no, what's his name? Daniel Guzman is a Lavolpista, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
What about your boy Galindo? What school would you consider him?
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his influences were, but he played attacking football. I mean, he took the Chivas team that beat Boca 4-0.
Aren't they Menotistas?
Yeah,
are there? I mean, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's other schools that have. But I'm specifically curious about these 3. We'll have to do an exercise on that and report.
Hey, I got a question for Jolie.
Oh yes,
Here we go.
All right. Let's say it was Almeida. Let's say it was Almeida that said, "Hey, you know what? Chivas, they should start playing in Estadio Jalisco again. They need
I would love that, dude.
more fan support." How would you feel about that?
I would be happy, man, because I thought they shouldn't have left Jalisco Stadium. I think it was a bit premature. I would prefer campeonatos over a shiny new stadium, man. Become a consistent winning team, then get your stadium, not the other way around. I think they put the the cart in front of the horse right there.
All right, fair enough. So basically, you're an Almeida fan deep down.
No, I'm not. I'm still not convinced. I could see why he's a fan favorite. You know, he says all the right things. He's passionate guy.
That's that.
He's been fan favorite pretty much everywhere he's gone. You know, he's forgot that word. Charismatic. He's a very charismatic guy. So he has that going for him.
Is it the RG humility?
Yeah, the humility after their economy crash. Their peso is pretty much just as bad as the Mexican peso.
Or is it the hair?
Like 18 to the dollar, huh? Nah, man.
Is it the hair? The golden locks?
Nah, man. It's just the work, The work. But I've been saying it for a long time. It's hard for me to judge him fully with the shadow of Higuera looming over him.
Now, Juan, you were on the air when I asked Joel if Guadalajara won the clausura, would he come on the show and do this?
Would he? What was the last part?
Yeah, the sound's not show.
If he would sing Guadalajara like that on the show, and he said no, but he said that he volunteered me.
If they won Clausura 2017,
that you would sing this on the CantinaMX podcast.
Let me see. All right, we're having technical difficulties. Were you gonna play it or?
It's the Chente Guadalajara scream.
Oh, well, you know what? I'll do it, but it's gotta be the Elvis version, and Jolie's gotta do it with me. Ampern.
Oh yeah, because he's a cambiarrayas too. So you would sing this part then.
We can't hear it, John.
You can't hear it?
We can't hear it, John.
Why can't you?
We haven't been able to hear it.
Seriously? I've been playing all this chill. You guys can't hear my music?
We can't hear anything, man.
Nothing, dude.
Not the intro either.
Well,
have an intro.
What on earth is going on? I mean, everything else. So you couldn't hear the X-Files music I was playing earlier?
Oh.
I'm baffled.
How about we hear this?
Hola, chingase madre, Chivas.
Huh. Y'all have stumped me because everything's coming out of the mixer, so I have no idea. So do I sound like I'm on my regular microphone, or are y'all just hearing me? So if I pull it away, can you hear me? If I pull it closer, is it better?
No, it's the same.
It's the same either way. Hello,
Fuera.
hello.
Fuera. No.
Yeah, there's our random guy again. Got some good stuff, random guy. Thank you. Huh. All right. Well, let me. I'll tell you what, y'all. Let me work on that, and hopefully, y'all get it going.
Check your settings in the Google Hangouts. Your audio input.
Well, I think that so y'all hear that snapping?
Yeah.
Huh. So obviously, and y'all hear me talking still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get that fixed. I'll be right back.
Let me hear this. The other Juan sent me.
Que son pelotudos, ¿sí? La concha de tu madre. La concha de tu madre. ¿Qué te pasa? La concha de tu madre. La concha de tu madre. Pelotudo.
Is that El Tano from River Plate?
No, that's some other dude.
That's
Who is this dude?
I think this Almeida having a meltdown.
Oh yeah. Found no plasma on that. I gotta get some clips for that guy. All right, I'll get them.
Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me?
Yep.
Y'all hear me now?
Sort of low.
Low? Is that better? Hola.
A little bit.
Y'all hear that?
I almost heard that.
Almost, yeah. It sounded like those hearing tests. Right? When they play a sound and you got to point to which ear you heard it.
But since John's brought up Cruz Azul, I'm sort of interested in what James is going to be able to do at Cruz Azul.
Well, they've won every of their single friendly games.
He's like a really good guy.
And it's
He was on Picante and Tyson was going off on him like
he was trying to bait him and he didn't.
okay stuff. He seems like a really level-headed good guy. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, he does have that dude working with him, and so now that's Yayo de la Torre, who had came in as the general manager. But when he came in, half of the stuff was already, like the players had already been brought in. Thomas Boy had already been hired, so he couldn't really do his job. He basically had to finish what the others had started. And I found it interesting that he didn't try to push anyone off, and he even gave Thomas Boy continuación, and Thomas Boy kind of choked,
Yeah.
He started just he lost the whole team, he lost the locker room, and he was he couldn't control himself. But they've been supposedly he's had more freedom to bring in players, and he chose a coach. So this is gonna be his team, and if they do bad, I think they're gonna send him out.
They got some new players. I think they got didn't they get Jovinko from MLS?
They did? I didn't hear about that.
Wait, who they get?
I think that would have made some headlines, huh?
Might have been a rumor.
He said Jovinko.
Oh, Giovinco? No, maybe on loan, but I doubt it.
Oh, yeah, it was just a rumor. They said they were close on December 2nd. It was close to cerca de fichar. Yeah, it's probably it's just a rumor.
So, Jolie, you haven't given up on Yayo as a GM?
No, I'm saying that he's finally allowed to do his job, because when they brought him in, they had already gotten the coach and players.
What other team was he a GM at before this thing with Cruz Azul? It was Jaguares, right?
I don't remember. I just remember him coaching. I don't.
Nah, I'm gonna look it up, Jolie.
I think he had been at Cruz Azul before.
I'll tell you. Oh, it doesn't say. Right, so yeah, he was at Cruz Azul, Necaxa.
Oh, there you go. Necaxa when they were in second division.
Yeah.
But how long? Like, did he help bring him back up, or?
2014. May 2014 until June 2015. So you could say he helped build the team.
Yeah.
They got promoted. Director Deportivo.
Yeah, there you go. He's decent guy.
All right. Hey, so what was up with Ronnie getting caught on camera with his laser? You think that's the real reason he disappeared with the police?
Everyone was Everyone was tweeting that picture and crucifying that guy, being social justice warriors, saying that he shouldn't be doing that, and that he's a scumbag and all that stuff.
Yeah, it depends the laser too, right?
That's the thing about social media now, huh? You can't get away with anything, man. You get caught on camera, you're done.
Did he have one of those high-powered ones, or did he have one of those toy ones that probably didn't even reach?
It looked pretty legit, but
it's like
it was the cameraman that did the work, man. The cameraman did the good job of even finding him. He just jumped on it, but
was there like another take where you see the security escorting him out?
I don't think so.
It would have. He wasn't the guy with the laser. He was a patsy. You know, I told him, "Hey, hold this." You know, there's another guy up there with the real laser.
There's got to be plenty of dudes out there with lasers.
But did you see any of the players, you know, having any problems?
I didn't notice any players even with lasers on them. I don't know what. He might have had a weak laser.
Oh, you know what? Since he's an America fan, he probably didn't even know how to use it, dude.
Well, you can see it. He has the America jersey on.
Yeah, I think he was holding it backwards, wasn't he? Oh, wait. I just saw a picture. I think that somebody has a laser in their face. Let me look at this picture. Dueñas. Here, let me see. I don't know. I'll post it in the chat.
I don't.
Or
Johnny Rico on Twitter was saying that people shouldn't be self-righteous and call out that laser pointer dude. Like social media shouldn't like slam him and shame him. And
why not?
That's what social media is all about, man. Gotta have thick skin. I don't care about, like, for me, I don't care if he did it. If he gets caught, then he gets caught and he gets kicked out. That's fine. But
hey, so how do you feel? How do you feel about Dan? Then he got caught with the cheerleaders.
Who did?
Dan.
Dan, man. That was some San Diego.
He said you?
That was some SoCal guy. San Diego, dude. That's messed up.
That's why he's not here today, right?
I don't know why he's not here. He was getting ready yesterday. He came in late or something. Hypnosis session with Geniac.
Oh, dude. Yep. So he was the guy. He was pointing at Dueñas. You see that picture? The one I posted in chat? How do make it so it's on the podcast?
Oh, I see it. Let me see. Click on it. Oh, there's Dueñas with it in all of his face. Yeah, if you go to, I went to San Miguel. Or no, I went to Tequisquiapan. And into Tianguis, and they had all kinds of them things, man. Some really powerful ones and some really weak ones. And then things do go a long way. See, I don't know. The cameraman found them, but then security's gonna have to locate where that camera was actually pointing to.
Hey, can you see my desk?
Yeah, I got it up.
All right.
I clicked on the link.
Was that the Tianguis on the way to the stadium?
Oh no, it's at a random place in.
Is John still trying to fix his soundboard?
Yeah.
I think He probably got busted. He was trash talking.
You guys talking about a picture? So, who do you guys have taking the final, man? At El Volcán. Who will be lifting?
Tigres.
You think Tigres?
Yeah.
They will ruin the Centenario. Chiquis.
I don't know.
I think Tigres as well, I agree sort of with Ron. It won't. I don't think it really will ruin the Centenario, but it won't
What
be.
do you mean it won't? You don't win anything.
Well, that don't matter.
They made the final though, dude.
Made the final. They've
They played Real Madrid.
The World Cup.
The World Cup. They've won previous stuff. They have a chance to probably make it again.
Well, I think it won't ruin the season, but as far as the Centenario, it won't be memorable because they don't have anything to show for it. I don't think that's a reason to, let go of Pelaez. I know a lot of fans dislike him.
Hello.
Oh, John is back.
There you go.
So now y'all can hear me?
We could always hear you, John. It was just your sound clips.
Oh no, I mean, I'm using a different. I've disabled that microphone, and I'm using a different microphone now. See,
actually, you sound more clear.
I sound more clear or less clear?
No, more.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, because I didn't realize that I was using that other microphone.
Oh.
Lord knows what noises you were hearing that I wasn't expecting you to hear. And I felt so bad because every time somebody would talk La Volpe, I would play this. While they were talking to make it sound like they were like La Volpe. Like when Ronnie was talking, he was, just praising La Volpe. I would play the.
Yo siempre digo que el fútbol algunas veces, en mi punto de vista, es como un ajedrez.
Yeah, no, none of that, dude.
And then when Chiquis played his Chivas, lady critiquing Chivas, I played this.
A dude.
Yeah,
whoever it was.
It was a dude.
You're Tom Brady and a $20 whore.
And then.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so just I feel like I didn't get a chance to really enhance our show.
We're all rusty from missing 2 weeks of podcasting.
Well, it's weird though. And then the other thing, like the question I had for y'all was, would either of y'all sing this?
Oh yes.
There you go.
So Joel, would you do it?
I can't hit that note.
No.
Come on, man.
So you'd rather sing this? You'd rather sing this?
I would be butchering that song.
Yeah, you can't hit that note. That's Jolie right there. All over.
I wouldn't want to butcher that, With good sir. Chente.
There's nothing worse than missing out on good chances to have good comedy. That sucks.
That's it.
Well, I was having
Somebody's got to
show.
get fired, John.
Well, I guess so. Cabezas van a rodar en la CantinaMX podcast.
There you go.
Well, whenever you guys meet up, or whoever meets up in Las Vegas, can record Joel sing that offline and get a good version.
You mean after that actually would be a good experiment, Joel. We should see how many shots of tequila it takes for you to agree to sing Guadalajara on the podcast.
Oh man, I would probably black out, man, because
get it offline. Let him rehearse it.
I don't know now, but I used to have a high alcohol tolerance. So one time I was out with this lady friend, and I was trying to build up some Dutch courage, but I ended up getting up drunk.
So Joel, are you like the woman in Raiders of the Lost Ark when she's going up against the Mongolians?
Oh man!
And you drop down that last thing of fire water. What a great movie intro for a character.
Oh man, yes.
That was cool.
What was the name of the shortstop?
Short stuff.
Short range.
Yeah, let's
short range.
Short round.
Short round, yeah.
I need that. We all need that Asian sidekick. Drive us around, dude.
So you guys think Tigres is going to take it, huh?
Yeah.
These guys do. I'm thinking it goes to penalties.
I think that's a very distinct possibility, Joel. Oof.
And you know, penales is a coin toss. So
I just have
a sinking feeling.
Yep. I think America's going to. I think they're going to, just as Ronnie said, I think it's going to be a second half set piece, and that'll be that. And you know, with whatever happened before then, it'll get decided by that, whether it's 1-0 or 2-1, whatever it is. America's going to win the game. Ugh. That is just so disgusting.
Me estoy avergonzado.
God, I feel so dirty. I feel so. You know who's going to get mad at me? It's going to be.
What's that diabolic whispering?
I know, man. That sounds creepy.
I think random guy has moved on from talking to whispering. So I think that's what's happening there.
I have nightmares, man.
That was some scary stuff.
Wait.
There's someone on the podcast. He's podcasting from inside the house.
Oh shit. You know what you do? You never check, right?
By the way, nobody tell Ronnie that I said that. By the way, please.
Ron.
I don't think he's on anymore.
He could just hear the podcast.
He doesn't need to know what I said.
I think he hears them on his drives.
In fact, honestly, I'm surprised he's not listening. I'm surprised he hasn't. You know, we should conjure him up.
No.
You never saw Parchis, did you, Juan?
No.
No, you weren't part of the Parchis generation like Joel. Joel, I'm actually surprised that you knew who Parchis was, because you're a youngster.
No, well, my aunt, she would take care of me, and she would play the discs for me.
Did she play Timbiriche too, or was Timbiriche?
Hey, John, and I'm going back. This is when, it was on record. I said discs, but it was record, and my family had the record player. Where it was like.
We stacked them.
No, it was this big like a
mueble.
Yeah, it was like a big mueble.
Yeah, we had one.
Huge. It was huge, and then you open it up. It looked like a coffin, and yeah, man. That thing was huge, man. But they would.
How many records could you stack at a time?
No, I don't. I don't remember.
Yeah, the original random.
I didn't get to operate it, and I think it also had for the what were those tapes called?
Reel to reel?
No, the other ones.
Cassette?
8-track.
8-track. Oh my god.
It had a slot for the 8-track, man, and yeah, that was my old man's to go thing. He'll get shit faced, put Chente loud, and that's
Juan, you know what random used to be? You know, random was select your order of records, and then it plays through. Then you grab them, you flip them, and you stick them on top again, and you play side B. That was random.
Oh.
Well, some of you guys had those fancy record players, right, where you could put in like 10 records at a time.
Well, I think the most ours could take was 6. Man, when both of y'all were talking Chivas, I was playing every Chivas song I had.
Oh yeah.
Because both of y'all were actually in agreement. It was like you guys had like decided to hold hands and like run, like skip through the park together and talk about
Kumbaya.
Exactly. Talk about how nice things could be and possible, and then Joel giving high praise to Yayo over at Cruz Azul.
Oh man.
I mean, it was the Chivas love was.
No, you know what? I'm all for Mexicans doing good, and I always felt, there should be more presence, more, and I don't get it why as fans we don't want that, I think there should be more Mexican coaches and more Mexican players, but we don't seem to have that trust for our own kind, if you see Argentine league and what are they doing that they're turning out so many players and coaches,
Because the wages are low. No coaches want to go to their leagues. No,
but also
players want to go to their
their
leagues.
teams. No, but I mean,
Well, it's not.
I mean, but see,
to their
are you
leagues,
gonna say that's
because they're
always
gonna
been
earn a
the
higher
case?
wage. Like you're going from Peru and from.
Well,
I know,
those-
but are you?
let's think about this. What country exports more soccer players than any other country in the world?
It's between Argentina and Brazil.
Right. And in what language? I guess it doesn't really matter now, but I mean, there's just a lot more Argentines playing all over the world than there are anything else. So like the pool from which to pick from, or the opportunities for those. So there's just a lot more players seeking that opportunity that happen to be Argentine, and then they also have a huge advantage.
Per capita, though, isn't it Uruguay though that has the most exporting per capita?
Well, per capita, sure, but I'm talking like sheer volume of players.
Whoa, who's that?
Yeah. Come on, random guy. You're supposed to just do random stuff. Don't be throwing these well thought out questions.
Per capita.
Yeah. What the hell?
What the hell, man? Per capita.
You're there to do one thing, random guys. Be random. You can't be interjecting proper conjecture. Come on.
Don't stump
Per
us
capita
here.
is pretty random. Nobody,
But my point is that there's just a lot more guys, and they have a huge advantage because, and at least in this side of the world, 90% of the teams of the clubs have predominantly Spanish-speaking players. Not that matters anymore because there's quite a few Argentine coaches over in the Premier League and other leagues in Europe. So, but obviously it certainly helps.
And all over the leagues too. And you check out all the South American leagues.
Oh yeah.
And all the coaches, a lot of the coaches are always from Argentina.
You realize that if Oscar Pareja would have coached the U.S. national team, then I think every team in CONCACAF would have a Colombian coach.
That's interesting. Yes, and now Colombia's catching on. But see, that's the thing I'm saying is that.
What do you mean they're catching on?
That there's more and more Colombians going into their post playing days are going into coaching.
They don't trust their team to a Colombian. Right? Not since what's that guy's name?
Well, Beckerman is there, and then of course we all remember where Beckerman was when they fired Hugo Sanchez, right? Y'all remember where he was?
Yeah,
he was at Toluca.
Or was he at Tigres?
No, he was at Toluca.
It was at Tolo Gallego.
No. When they fired Hugo Sanchez, Beckerman was at Toluca.
So what are you saying? You wanted Mexico to hire him?
I mean, I'm just saying that he was there. He'd coached the national team before.
And he didn't win with Toluca.
It doesn't matter whether he won with Toluca or not. He had the experience. I mean, look at what he was able to do with Colombia. And he was a youth team guy, which you would love.
They have a great generation of players coming up.
Didn't he win? Was he at Tigres?
Gee, I wonder what Mexico had at that time. I'm trying to remember.
No forwards.
Joel, what did Mexico have at that time when Hugo was fired? Do you remember?
They had a lot of youth players.
Yeah.
And Peckerman was, he was king of the youth tournament with Argentina.
No, he isn't. Well, he won that U20 with Messi, right? In the lineup.
He won a bunch of U20s and U17s. He did very well for himself. They won like 3 or 4 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the final was always between Argentina and Nigeria for like
he won
20 years.
The under FIFA World Cup, he won 95, 97, and 2001.
What's his as a senior team or senior coach or a senior manager for either a national team or a club team?
They lost to Germany in the quarterfinals in penalties in Germany when they should have won the game, sadly.
So has he won any silverware as a manager? That wasn't a youth tournament.
So now we have to qualify it that it wasn't a youth tournament.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you want to bring in somebody
Well, that's the thing though. Is that I don't know what his.
He didn't coach like he didn't really coach club teams.
Yeah, he's been a national team guy his entire career.
Yeah, he was in the Argentina under 20 from 94 to 2001, and then he went to the senior Argentina national team from 04 to 06, and then he was at Toluca from 2007 to 2008, and then Tigres Unal for a couple months, and then he took over Colombia in 2012.
So what we're saying is, as a manager,
he's more of a
working with
national
adults,
team
with senior players. He's never won a trophy.
He won second place. If you want, that would be a trophy.
What, in confederations?
He's silver.
Yeah,
he was a medalist.
Runner up 2005.
In that case, Mexico should just bring back somebody like La Puente, that they win it.
What? They won what?
Look, I'm not saying that Mexico should hire it. All I'm saying is he was there if that was the direction they wanted to go to. They wanted to go with the fireman instead of a proceso.
Well, disclaimer, anti-Peckerman agenda here, obviously.
I couldn't tell. You were very skilled in hiding your true feelings. So why do you hate Peckerman so much? What awful thing has he done that has earned your disdain?
No. I mean, I don't hate the guy. I just think, if you want to point to managers that have some success, or to be somebody who you're going to compare yourself to, or aspire to bring in I think Peckerman's not it.
No,
I mean, he's probably not a bad manager.
He would have made sense if you're transitioning a group of young players, to the senior team, because that's his specialty. I think we dropped the ball right there, because Hugo had, it was a team in transition, and they threw the whole debacle of the Olympic team not qualifying, and they used that as an excuse. So
But Hugo was doing well. Like, the national team wasn't.
No,
really
I know
in
what I'm saying, but they were saying that he wasn't going to be able to transition them, and if that was the case, then he would have been like a good coach to do that, because I think was Vasco that ended up taking the team.
Well, after the Swede.
Yeah, he did not. He did. Yeah, and the Swede, because they wanted him to take Gio and Bella. He wanted to play them, and then Vasco didn't have enough faith on some of the other youth players. He didn't even. Chicharo was on fire, man. He kept him benched, even though Franco was injured. Opening no wounds there,
well, like I mentioned earlier, it's just baffling decisions. I mean, there was just baffling decisions.
Well, look, let's get Memo out of the gate already. Memo, he didn't deserve to start.
Cards on the table. You're absolutely right. All right. Let's hash this out. I think that this has been a sticking point with a lot of people here at the podcast, the 2000 era. So let's hash it out. I agree with you. Memo should not have started. He's a great guy to bring if you need to. Not if you're losing, but if you're winning. If you want to get another goal, that should have been Memo's role the entire World Cup.
Wait, Memo?
I mean, Demo.
Oh, Temok.
Yeah.
Well, the problem was he brought Temok and Bofu, when they're both past it. They like mobility.
Well, I agree with you there as well. I think the wild card in that case should have been Netty, but he brought him specifically for Argentina, which I have to admit, I think that was just a really
the Bofu, right?
Yeah, Bofu. I think that was just a great. Honestly, I can't. I applauded the decision. I hated the result.
But you know what?
I mean, it's a smart gamble.
When they were, before they cut the list, because remember they had to cut down.
Right.
Cut down the players, and he played against Holland and he had good games.
Bofo?
Yeah, if you guys go back, he even had like an assist.
Man,
And
if
he
you know
looked
that was
good.
in that Argentina game, if Chicharito finds Bofo, there was a shot where Chicharito had a shot early in the game, or just a kind of a weak shot. Man, Bofo.
He had him wide open.
Do you remember that? And he
Yeah.
was just like, he just, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he was doing good, and then they pretty much left him out. He didn't play none of the group games.
Could you imagine?
No, he played. Didn't he go in against Uruguay?
I
No,
don't
that was
remember playing
Bofo
him
was the
at all,
first game he
man.
played. Yeah, or Argentina rather. Could you imagine the psychological ramifications of Bofo if Bofo, the
Scores that goal?
Argentina killer, gets gets an early goal in that game? I mean,
But see-
that's why it was such a great gamble. That's why I cannot fault the man at all for doing that. It just didn't
Hey,
work.
John. Now, doesn't Cheech that pass that he didn't make, that it's etched into your brain? Doesn't that kind of justify Vasco for
No,
not relying
not at all.
relying on
Because-
him?
absolutely
because
not.
look at the
Absolutely
kind of the
not.
mistakes he's making, where maybe a more experienced player probably does make that
But
pass.
that's fine. But I mean, honestly, I mean, how many out of a soccer play down, inside your opponent's 18, out of 10 plays, how many of them are successful? In all honesty,
Yeah, but this is both for the Archie killer.
regardless of just your guys,
Cold-blooded veins.
your guys out of 10 plays, out of your kids, your cold-blooded killers that you have recruited and are personally molding them to become
Hold on. All right.
attacking soccer machines. Out of 10 plays that you guys have in and around the opponent's 18, how many of them result in a shot on goal? Out of 10 plays.
Our place?
Yeah. Just out of 10 times you go down there, how many of them end up in a shot on goal? Maybe one if you're lucky, maybe two.
For kids, yeah. I mean,
Okay, I'm not talking so for your professional
kids that I
team
work
the professional team that you have there. Your 15-year-old mercenaries.
well, the problem is the challenges with youth is there's always breakdowns on both sides of the ball.
Sure.
So you could easily have a game where you have no shots on goal. Every time you enter their attacking third.
Okay.
Or
So
you can have a game. You have a game where
you're a coach, right? You watch a game critically, probably more so than we do.
Okay.
Okay. Out of the game you watched tonight, out of the 10, 11 times Tigres had the ball, right? How many of those plays ended up? How many plays you saw, oh man, they could have done this or could have done that. It happens all the time. So the fact that that play is burned in my mind, but it's not because oh man, it's just like if he would have seen him, it would have been great, but he didn't see him.
Or he saw him and he didn't want to give him the ball.
Exactly. Whatever the case, the play
Immaturity.
The play didn't happen. It's not immaturity. It just didn't happen.
Lack of experience.
Whatever you want to chalk it up to. In
2018, Cheech has that ball, and he sees Jimenez, he sees Lozano, or whoever's there with him, Vela. Do you think he makes that pass in 2018? Or 2018.
I think that if he feels that he has a better chance to score, he'll keep the ball. If he feels that he needs to make the appropriate pass in order to enhance the chances of his team scoring, then he might do that as well. But again, I mean, that play wasn't life or death in that game. It was just
it would have been if
Guardado scores, then the game is different. Yeah, exactly. But just the whole Bofo thing, it would have been, and it would have made Aguirre look like a freaking genius.
Dude, they could have been 3-up.
They could have been winning the game 6-0 after the first 10 minutes. Come on.
And when the camera panned over to Maradona, he was like, what's that word called? What's that phrase? Shitting his pants? Yeah.
Puckering, trying to hold it in.
He looked like he didn't know what was. He's like, uh-oh. They were in trouble, man.
Hey, looks like Gignac might miss the final. Says trauma in Esquince.
Yeah, breaking news. Breaking news, Joel.
Yeah, it's high possibility he might miss the final.
He is concussed. He has a concussion. There's no way he should play.
So yeah, they were saying traumatismo y esguince.
Yeah.
But where?
So, I don't know, man. That's as far as
On
I
the shoulder?
got.
Or in his brain?
No,
in his shooting foot.
Oh.
Esguince is a sprain. I don't think you could. Could you
No,
have a sprain on your
He
brain?
probably has a sprained neck, is what it is.
Yeah, there you go. That would be sad if he misses.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
final.
he whiplashed, and I mean, it was, yeah, that was not. Oh, wait, there you go. Esguince cervical grado 2.
Oh man, shit. Sounds bad. Probably not, but it sounds bad anyways.
Probably has a pinched nerve. I bet you is what ended up happening.
Shit, the guy that hacked him, should he be suspended?
No, it was.
That was a dirty play.
It wasn't. It was not a dirty play. It was just
That was
a play.
dirty play. Man.
It was a play. He
It's a
didn't
dirty
deliberately. He didn't deliberately throw a shoulder into the back of Gignac's neck. It just happened.
Gignac's a big dude, man.
Yeah, I mean, and when you watch it again, you see Gignac go down like a sack of potato. I mean, Gignac did not protect himself when he went down, and then you see his face, and he is panicked. So I mean, he obviously, something happened to him.
Well, he didn't expect such a dirty play, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, it wasn't a dirty play.
Oh man, hey, do you guys think missing Gignac could affect the Tigres?
Oh, dude.
Especially you got a pecho frio like Aquino, who's not gonna be able to.
Hold on, why is Aquino pecho frio?
Because to me, I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, he has quality, but pecho frio means in the moment,
I know, but why?
Because to me, he's failed in the top moments. Since Olympics, but I don't think he was.
In the Olympics, he's the man responsible for that gold medal. Out of all the players,
I
even
know,
above
but
Cepillo.
the spotlight wasn't on him. It was on.
It wasn't.
It was on Gio and yeah, but that's what happens sometimes. Like it happened to.
Yeah, but he had to step up because Gio was injured that game. Gio didn't play that game. He had to step up.
Yeah, in the final.
In that final against Brazil, he.
But
what's the right back's name? Marcelo? No, the left.
We're going back 5 years now, almost 6.
No, dude, we're going back
at the World Cup.
4.5. Cálmate, Juan.
4.5.
At the World Cup,
hey,
against,
we're still old. We're still young enough that you can't embellish years on us just yet. So calm down.
Contra Holanda, to me, that was a waste of cambio.
Well, but that was a direct result of the fact that Miguel thought that Aquino had good defensive skills because of what he saw in the gold medal match against Brazil.
Yeah.
Well,
and then Libertadores,
as much as I blame Piojo for taking out Gio.
I saw him choking it up at the Estadio Monumental in Argentina. Oh man, dude, come on! That's like the.
Did he choke it up or
game? Yeah, dude, he's just.
Joel, I never thought I would have to do this. I'm shocked. But
he's been playing good for Tigres. He may not be scoring like all the goals, but
Joel, it sounds like you're.
Look good again.
You know what it is?
Cool.
All right, I see
category.
You know what Joel's agenda is, right? Chivas is rumored to be signing Aquino.
No,
Joel's not happy because Pizarro signed, and now
I never said I wasn't happy. Pizarro.
We need to talk about that. We need to talk about that. Actually,
he's been arguing Pizarro's the price for Pizarro is incredibly inflated.
It is. All the players have been inflated.
And then now he's really not Aquino, So and discrediting Aquino's efforts in the gold medal, in achieving that historic gold medal.
Hey, well, hold on.
He's calling him a choke artist because apparently he had one bad game, in Argentina.
Two big games for me, and look, this is gonna be a third one. Hey, if he does good, I'll admit it here. But if
you want to admit it, dude.
Joel, if you had a big
game,
I
will.
Would you take Ramoncito or Javier Aquino?
If I what?
If there was a big game, like you had to okay. Say that you're Batman, right? And you get the call, and Aquino.
Robin.
and building the Justice League.
Aquino is tied up next to Dynamite, and so is Ramoncito. You can only save one.
Oh,
who are you saving?
Oh, man.
Aquino or Ramoncito?
Man, come on,
Save the girl.
that's easy.
Save the girl.
That's Ramoncito, of course, man. Like the Chihuahua. I'm going after the Chihuahua first.
So what he's saying is he'd rather see Aquino die than sign
Nah,
for
man, look.
A grisly death, apparently.
We'll see what he does, and guaranteeing you guys, both him and Dam, they're not gonna do anything. They're gonna choke.
Well, I thought that about Dam too, and he actually he stepped it up in the. Okay, so he stepped it up in the thing against with the quarterfinals against Pumas, and I think also in the semis. So he's he actually has shown up in some of these bigger games. Okay, here I got a bit of a problem with Liga MX for making us wait freaking 2 weeks. I mean, come on. If you have the Club World Cup and you start the season early anyway, and then you can still drag out the season to Christmas night. I mean, I know why they're doing it, but it's like, this thing should have been done and dusted before the Club World Cup.
Yeah,
it would have been much more fair to everyone involved.
But also the clubs, like they should take more steps into like improving that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna start early because of this, then do a jornada doble like really early in the season.
Yeah, maybe 2 jornadas.
Yeah. And instead of playing
they did several. But you're right.
Yeah, and so that way America doesn't have to play, because I mean honestly, the soccer was not particularly all that good, and Tigres was off for 2 weeks, and America was totally jet lagged. I mean, they're playing a game, in their minds, it's like 4 a.m, and it's just not not well planned, unfortunately.
That is too, and not well planned. It's also Chivas overspending, man. I don't know where they're getting all that money, John.
It is very interesting that all this.
I've been doing research. So here's my findings.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's pay attention.
Nah, man, it's just stuff that sometimes we oversee. So no, it's not. It's not X-Files stuff, man. Nothing mysterious here.
Hey, we all have to hum and put our thumbs and index fingers together.
No need to wear the tinfoil caps. This is verified stuff. So one was the divorce between Angelica and
is it over?
Vergara. Yeah, it's over, and he won. He has complete control of the Grupo OmniLife, Chivas, which is the company and the club.
Right.
So but she still has a stake in the team.
She probably had to liquidate her assets. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, no, he has complete.
He bought her out.
All right.
And
how much?
Well, because what the thing was that she was misappropriating funds. So she had.
So if he didn't buy her out, then he just.
Well, yeah, because that's what they got her for. I mean, she had stolen a lot of money, and she was also the one that had to. They sold Tapatio, second division club, and it was, why sell the team?
So the divorce is final. So that freed up some cash. Is that what happened, Joel?
I'm not sure.
She also in charge of the massages for the players?
Well, but you guys both understand that Chivas pays a premium for the players they have to get. Like they probably have to pay. I mean, and now the fact that they're willing to pay these prices, that they're showing that they're willing to pay these prices. I mean, if I were a Mexican player, man, I would be doing whatever it took to get the Chivas, because I know I'm going to make a big money payday.
Isn't it a win-win for Chivas though?
I'm sorry?
Now they're a desirable destination.
Well, they've always been a desirable destination.
You know what? I do think they had to pay a premium.
They have to. They have no choice.
No, but see, they never had to pay exaggerated amounts.
Hold on.
If they always.
But Joel, you're right. It doesn't matter. But now they are, and so they are setting the market.
But see, they're doing it. I think it's
John. So you're saying the $10 Big Macs? It's true.
Oh, why? No, why you bringing that in here, man? That's
I'm just saying.
no. Come on, man.
Hey, hold on, Jolie. Now you're saying the prices are too high. What were the prices?
No, look.
It's not that the prices are high. It's that they're willing to pay them.
No, I know, but I'm saying.
But they didn't. They didn't pay the high prices.
No, but look. If we go back,
the valuations are high.
Chivas has bought in the past. They bought top players, and in their prime, they brought players like Chava Carmona, Bofo. When Bofo came, he had already played like 4 finals. Any team he went to, he pretty much took him to the final. They brought other players. Gonzo Pineda, who was national team player and a 2-time champion with Pumas. It's a player I didn't think they would release. And
he was a bench player for Pumas.
But still, he helped them win. He was in the national team as well. Who got to the World Cup. So I mean, there was other players like that.
How much did they pay for those players?
Isn't he a lawyer? Isn't Gonzo Pineda a lawyer?
Thought he was still playing in MLS.
No, he's a broadcaster.
Well, I know he's a broadcaster now, but I think that he's a lawyer by trade. If I'm not mistaken, I think he went to law school.
Hey, but look, Chivas wasn't breaking any records on like the way they did with Pizarro with the 17 million and the 20 million with Pulido. And these aren't players that are consolidated.
Yeah, there's no.
You could say they're national team starters, and
Really?
They're promising players.
National team starters for him right now.
What?
Where?
The problem, Juan, and you see, the thing is that both of you guys are right, but the problem is that Pizarro anywhere else would maybe in Mexico get 10. People would pay 10 for him, but because he has to go to Chivas,
they paid like 5 or 6. That was the amount of cash exchanged.
No, because he's counting the other players, like the defender. How much is his value him, man?
Is that Chivas? They have to over. One, Mexican players in the market are already overvalued, and then they have to pay on top of that. They have to pay the Chivas tax on top of that. The Chivas player personnel tax that they have to pay.
Hey man, to me that's just Higuera making it rain just because he's trying to buy a championship. 20 million for Pulido. They could have waited. He would have probably been worth less.
They could have gotten him for 4.
Yeah, they could have gotten him for way cheaper. And I mean, what good did it do bringing him? They just needed something to help promote.
He scored a golazo. And he scored a golazo the last practice. Come on.
Okay.
Give Pulido the credit where credit is.
Look, no, I'm not saying he's not capable.
You know what? Almeida's on record saying he's been wanting to sign Pizarro for a while now.
Well, Pizarro is a great player,
for him.
And there's no question that he would be a very valuable addition. The kid's really good. The only problem is that regardless of any of that, is that Chivas has to, if they're going to be in this new market, the only way that they're going to be able to compete is that they're going to have to pay these prices for Mexican players, because the other teams know that the only way that Chivas can compete is by having a really, really good quality roster. And they're going to have to pay for it, or work through it through their youth system. And it seems like they've kind of abandoned that, at least for the past couple of years.
I don't think they've abandoned the youth system as much as look, this past season, the youth players got most of the playing time over the high price signings. But what it sounds like John is saying is Chivas is the Barcelona of Mexico, right? Because you could have like like an Almeria or one of the a third tier team. Let's say Pumas. They're trying to sign your player. You'll be like, oh yeah, give me $1 million. And then Barcelona comes along and they jack up the price. Say, you know what? Now we want 30 million.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And the clubs are so similar. They have they both have a passionate following. They both wear stripes that are representative of their area, right? There's just a huge difference between the two. Is that since 1970, I think Barcelona's won like 50 championships or probably more.
No.
And Chivas
Yes.
has won 3.
They were in a drought until Van Gaal
Oh man.
and Cruyff.
So 40 years ago they were in a drought.
No. I think it was. It's only been this past decade.
Oh please.
All right, let's look it up.
Oh man, did he forget about the Cruyff?
Dream team?
Cruyff was in the 90s, dude.
Yeah.
And he had the dream team, when they had Romario and Stoichkov and
I remember when Romario, the first time they played, it was in the Champions League, it was against Manchester United, and it was Romario and Stoichkov were the 2 forwards. I mean, I think they were up 3 or 4-0 against Manchester United in the first 30 minutes. I mean, they were just they had no answer for either of them. And Romario did this one move where he did like a dummy step, and he froze like 2 or 3 guys, and they just walked in after that. It was absolutely impressive. What a great player he was when he was in the mood, man. He was fantastic.
I think just Juan was thinking of the Galactico type era when, Madrid was just buying every name player.
So look,
that's
between 1992 and 2005, they didn't win a single UEFA.
UEFA. What about La Liga? What about La Liga?
Oh, dude, who cares about that?
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah, and you do know it was
99 and 2004. They didn't win a single.
Hey, but
or
the other
2005,
one,
they didn't win a single league.
It was harder to win the UEFA because it was less teams.
Look,
and
all I'm
recently
saying is
they made more teams.
They've had a resurgence. They weren't as dominant as actually, they've never really been dominant until the past 11 years.
Well, they have been extremely dominant, and hopefully history will not forget the fact that the real reason that Barcelona was so great, and as good as Ronaldinho and Messi and all those guys were, I mean, they would have been nothing without Xavi and Iniesta and even Biscuits. I mean, those three guys. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Wait, are we seriously comparing Barcelona to Chivas? I don't know, Juan. Have you been drinking?
Huh?
Are you drinking before the podcast again?
No. Wait, dude, we're called CantinaMX for a reason.
Man, I don't know if he was drinking. I think he ate a couple of peyote balls.
Man. You got
Well,
balls.
If you notice, Barcelona's extremely dominant era that's very recent is due mostly to their youth players, right?
Well, that's a very good point, actually, because all the big money guys that they brought in the past couple of years, like the Gallitos and the Hulits, were always on the bench. So you think, Juan, then they need to find a balance then between the canteranos and the fichajes.
Yeah, I think they need to find a balance. I think they need to. I mean, look, when Almeida came in, the biggest concern was the descenso, right?
Right.
I mean, the team was big time in trouble.
So now they don't have to worry about that anymore.
Now the challenge is going to be for them trying to win trophies.
Hey, didn't Chepo save him from descenso?
He did.
No.
But they weren't. Wait, hold on.
But they were going to be.
What do you mean he saved them?
They were.
Man. Hold on. Why don't we take a commercial break? Let me go grab a beer and we can listen to this.
Like that season, they was direct. He did not take him out of the relegation zone, but the one season he played,
he wasn't going to be able to anyway, right? Just because the bad years were still on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was still on there, but the season that he coached them, it was direct. It was the direct that if they would have finished, they would have been relegated.
Anytime if you're in the bottom 3 and you don't get relegated, you did your job.
Yeah, and then the following season there was no relegation. and then the one after it was going to be direct relegation again.
Yes.
Right. It's his best start in the fall. I think he had him sitting in 17th when he got fired.
Yeah, but the season before, they were in the Ascenso and they didn't fall, so he did his job. In fact, they were like semi-finalists. Wasn't that when they beat Atlas in the?
Which they haven't been able to reach, John. And if they don't reach it again, which should be at least minimum requirement, with 60 million, I think it's now.
What's the minimum?
How much they spent?
Oh, I think semifinal. I think absolutely semifinals should be the.
But you know what? Vergara's on record. He said, "No nos queda de otra que ser campeones." So.
Wow.
So
check this out.
Wendy?
If that happens, then you
Did
guys
I just
are
hear
gonna.
Wendy in the background?
So Chepo, he had them finish in 16th. So the next season.
Hey, that's a cerveza. I hear Chiquis laughing.
And then
so you guys
after Almeida, they went from 16th, they jumped up to 12th.
Okay, but a lot of things happened, dude.
And now this season, hold on. And now this season,
Juan, teams like Puebla and Veracruz crashed badly.
Now check this out. So what you're saying is Chivas was the better team. Okay, I'll take that admission. Now this is what Jolie says. Jolie says anything less than to fire.
I didn't say fire. I said it would be a fracaso with the amount of money they've spent. You have to have. You're gonna be putting that much money. You have to have some high expectations, not just. You don't just put 60 million.
There has to be a return on the investment.
Just to qualify.
That's the other thing,
you could do that just with the cantera, dude. You know.
Now between y'all.
So you're saying anything less than semifinals is a fracaso, right?
Big, yeah, it will be to me.
Would you not agree with that? Seems reasonable to me. I'm not a Chivas fan, but I see the amount of money they're spending. The fact that they made the Liga past couple of years, I mean, you want them to advance, don't you? So absolutely, I think the semifinal, at least the semifinal.
They reached semifinals when Chepo came in. They didn't spend not even half of that money.
When Omar Bravo was there scoring, he was like in his mid-40s.
And who's the top scorer now? They just got rid of him.
They just got rid of him. Hey, por borracho.
Man, I cannot believe that they didn't put Hulit in mine. See, it goes to show you, Joel, that when we think that he listens to the podcast, he obviously does not.
No, man.
Because he did not adhere to my suggestion of moving Hulit as the center forward.
Hey, I think Chick is distracting me, man. I heard La Pequeña Wendy in the background. I think, was that you?
No. Hold on, give me a second. I want to respond to you, but first I want to get a drink. Hold on.
Can we listen to her a little bit more?
Okay.
Oh man.
What the? John sent me, or Juan sent me this link, and I was like, "What is this?"
Oh yeah, La Pequeña Wendy, man. She was like 12, singing about getting drunk. I don't know what's going on in Peru, man.
That's an old doll commercial from Mexico.
Hey.
You know what? All right. I'm back.
Are you back?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm still baffled that you would not accept that as a reasonable expectation.
You know, I think when you have to, if you want to evaluate a manager, whether or not he's on the right track, and whether you want to keep him in your organization, whether you want to, mount the pressure and pile on and start saying he's a fracaso. I think what we have to look at is.
I don't think it would be him. I don't think it would be what the results were for that particular season.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say him though. I said team. it would be a fracaso for the team and for what, the overall management. It's not his fault, that they're overpaying for players.
No, it's now where's this guy going to play? Is Pizarro going to play in front of Orbelin or?
So they're expecting that he could play as a winger, as a outside back, or as a 10, or even as a center mid.
I think if they play all the players we've gotten, there's only going to be three canteranos left.
Which 3? Or why do you say there's only going to be 3 left?
They sold
the rest?
No, just as starters. If you start all the players that have been refuerzos, you'll be left with just like 3 canteranos.
But I don't think they're all going to start because Avión Calderón didn't start. Gallito, I don't expect him to start.
I mean, why bring him then? I don't know why.
Gallito?
Yeah.
Well, I think Almeida's target was to play Libertadores.
That's actually a very valid assessment. I think you're absolutely right.
So with that out of the picture, though, they kept on going for more players like Aquino, trying to get him.
He was spending like a drunken sailor.
Well, I think if you saw the Club America, this was that quarterfinals. Yeah, that series. Anyways, they didn't have any answers. There's no alternatives on the bench.
Now, if Fernando was here on our show, and we miss him, of course, he would be saying that the reason that they has that big plantel is so they can go after the Copa MX Campeonísimo. Because they've won a grand total of 1.
And two finals. One under Chepo.
Well, I guess when you make a final for Chivas fan, it might as well count, right? Because you guys have had so few for so long.
All right, John. I'll see you in Vegas, dude.
Oh, come on now. You said you were throwing some shade at my Pumas. I had to retaliate at some point.
That's true.
So, I mean, who loves Chivas more than me? Seriously. I get to play stuff like this.
There you go.
I always make it worth using. Now I do have a new addition, but I haven't had a chance to use it tonight. It's
Punto y aparte. Al infierno. Vete al infierno.
Oh. Who was he talking to?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you who it was. It just cracks me up. It cracks me up.
I got another one of this dude.
Uh-oh.
Where is it? Somewhere around here.
Hola, chingase madre, Chivas.
Oh, wrong one.
Usted le acaba de decir estupidito, sorry.
I still can't believe I chose America to win the game, but with Gignac out, I think it's going to be really hard for Tigres to score.
Oh,
they do have a huge advantage, however. Honestly, he's been, at least in the Liguilla, out of the however many goals they've scored, he scored what 5 or 6? The dude's been on fire. You can't deny that. I mean, he had a hat trick against Pumas. He scored another goal in that series. He had 4 against them. He had like 2 against, or was it 3 against Leon? So he scored, at least 6 goals for sure. And then he got the 7th one tonight.
See, Tuca's asking for discipline on these plays. So he probably agrees with Juan and thinks that play by Valdez was a dirty play, amongst others that the America were doing. So.
Y usted no me va a decir qué carajo tengo que hacer.
He's demanding some justice.
Yeah. Do you think that if they start interrupting him, do you think he would get mad?
You get mad for anything.
I love me some Tuca, man. I'm probably like the only Tuca fan on the entire planet. Just I've always liked him.
Oh, there's plenty.
Hey, you know what? So, Jolie, you don't think Higuera's been a very successful president for Chivas? So he's able to bring in all these signings.
Joel is going to talk for like the next 20 minutes, man.
No, man.
I mean, look at it. In the past, when you had when Nestor was director deportivo, they almost brought in Pulido. They almost brought in
No, but there was
Cepillo. They almost brought in
no, that
players.
wait. Hold on. Juan, I gotta stop you there. First with Pulido, that was not his target. That was Higuera's target. Higuera was already the CEO, so Higuera was the one that negotiated him.
No, but in the past.
Yeah, Nestor never went after Pulido. It was Higuera. And
the best signing that they've had.
Peralta,
De La Torres.
Well, just recent was Brizuela. If you go back to
before you guys rehash this whole thing again for the 20th time tonight, I do want to ask y'all: Do you think Pizarro is going to be a success at Chivas?
I think so. He looks motivated, man.
You know, it was really, a lot of people forget that he broke his leg in that game against Fiji when he shouldn't have even been out there because it was like in the second half and they should have been winning 10-0 already.
He hasn't been the same since, huh?
Well, he hasn't played. I mean, he just started playing again, just a few weeks before the season was up. So, you're getting a guy that hadn't, basically hasn't played since last August.
So 17 million for damaged goods.
That's right. Well, luckily, Joel, it was.
Wait, how is it 17 million?
He did, dude. How much was it, Joel? That they announced 17?
They announced it, man. And
that's
you know what,
the value he has.
So 17 is
money exchange. How much?
So
was
17 is the public number.
Yeah,
what's the private number?
It's probably be like 20, man.
All right, and so what's the tax number? 10?
No, but yeah, that's the one that Juan's reporting.
Right.
No,
Juan, come on, man.
Actually,
You're being too innocent here.
Now.
I'm not making up numbers. That's how it works here.
Dude, how much cash was actually paid for Pizarro?
Look, we don't know because we didn't see it. None of us.
Yeah, exactly. We'll never know.
Dude, that number's been reported.
The number reported was 17, and then they're saying that they only paid cash because they transferred the other player.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would you let go of that other player who is titular indiscutible, les regaló un campeonato, and he's from your cantera, and he's free, and you're passing him on.
So his article by Tom Marshall, he reports the value of the transfer at 14 million. That's the value of the transfer. Now, when you include,
but what was the value of the check?
Of Victor Guzman, and then I guess they include the loan for Gullit somehow. What they actually paid for this player was a lot less.
Victor, but you don't think Victor Guzman would have you not? I would have kept Victor Guzman.
For what?
I would rather just keep him, and they could keep Pizarro.
But why? Why are you gonna have a third defensive mid when you already have one guy on the national team, and he's not playing, and your biggest need is a number 10 type player. So if you look at what the way the coaching staff is analyzing the team,
is that their biggest need? I think their biggest need is a striker.
Well, they got two strikers.
Hey, John just said it.
If you count,
this guy broke his leg and hasn't played.
So check this out. You a striker, you have Pulido, and you have Saldivar. You also have.
So then the guy they brought in earlier that they paid 20 million for hadn't played in how many years? In 2 years. He hadn't played.
They played 5 million.
5 million for Pulido.
So Chivas spends $37 million on one player that hasn't played in 2 years, and another one that hasn't played 6 months, coming off a broken leg.
And you know what? The one guy, Pulido, he became a starter basically straight away.
Where?
So that goes to show his quality.
Well, it doesn't go to show his quality. It goes to show how desperate they are into putting any kind of warm body that knows that actually redirect the ball into the direction of that white thing with the netting behind it.
And then he missed 2 penalties.
John, how many beers have you had? So check this out.
And then he misses 2 penalties in key games.
Saldivar, he got called to the national team.
But why did he get called?
So he's not some bum.
Why did he get called to the national team? Why did Saldivar get called to the national team? Saldivar.
Nobody wanted to play that game.
Well, that and Wild because how many Mexican forwards were in the top 10, in the top 20 in scoring this year?
Like one.
And it was Chucky. So
Chucky was at that game too, by the way.
He called the guy from Atlas, who is like it was like a bench because that's all he has. There are no Mexican, and it's going to get worse. There are no Mexican forward. So that's why it is imperative. And this is why you guys as Chivas fans should just be just honestly, your nipples must be exploding in anticipation with the fact that you guys are going to finally like be forced to have a good team. You have to have a good team. In order for them to be competitive, they have to spend money, which is what they're doing, and that's why. What's happening with these prices is that the price is what they're willing to pay.
They've been spending money for the past 2 years.
Not like
and
this.
the young players have been keeping the signings on the bench.
But that's fine. But they haven't been spending money like this.
What do you mean like this? They did.
Spending $37 million on 2 players is not something that Chivas does.
Yeah, but they didn't spend the money. That's the thing that I'm not sure how that's not getting through. The actual cash exchange is only like 5 or 6 million for Pizarro and for Pulido. I forget the actual number.
Okay, regardless of what the number is, it's not something that they've been doing in a very long time.
Remember when Team Cruyff, when they came in, they brought in I think it was Luisito Perez.
Come on, dude.
They brought in
who by the way announced his retirement this week. And you know what everyone's initial reaction was? Didn't you retire like 5 years ago?
Oh, ouch.
They brought in Tigres.
Man.
And
that was I'm sorry.
Yeah, they brought in the Tigres, that's right.
That was very
actually Team Cruyff, they brought in Perez, they brought in Rafael Marquez, Lugo.
The hype is an all-time high, though. The hype is huge nowadays with this, and Vergara has backed that up with his statements of we're going to win all this stuff. And I heard a rumor that Saldivar might be going to Italy. It's just a rumor, but
why? But I mean, that's
you know what? Yes, I saw a rumor, but it wasn't Saldivar. It was somebody else.
No, Saldivar, dude. I saw him around the end of the play.
So the one guy that has just a sliver of talent then is the guy they want to get rid of.
Well, I don't think they want to get rid of it.
What happened to my trophies? Speaking of talent, what happened to trophies?
You asking me?
I thought he was
Mexican Messi.
Well, hold up. Who anointed him the Mexican Messi? Remember the manager said, "Hey, let him accomplish something, and then we can hype him up." Right? You remember that?
But what's going on with him, dude? He's 22 already. So he's still fairly young.
I thought that he was going to be the 10 for the team. I mean, he wears the number 10.
He does wear the number 10.
Yeah, he's wearing the number 10.
Not anymore, man. His broken leg is. They brought a guy with a broken leg to replace him.
So. So Joey, you're upset that the coaching staff is addressing the team needs. Is that what you're saying?
What? No, man. I think. Look, this goes all the way back to Promotora, because Promotora saw that it was getting expensive to get Mexican players, so that's when they started working on the youth, that's when they started working with the cantera and it paid dividends. It took years, but it finally paid dividends, and Vergara disrupted all that. It's constant, firing and letting go of staff. He let go a lot of key staff. Like you have Hans and Efrain Flores, who went to Pachuca and helped improve their youth. Now we're paying top dollar
for their youth.
For their youth. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What are you guys doing, man?
Money well spent. Money well spent.
So, to me, I'd rather wait, and I do have faith that our youth can be competitive. You just said it a while ago. Chivas canteranos have been keeping the high-priced guys on the bench. So it makes it look bad, dude. It makes it look bad that you pay all this money to bring in players, and your own cantera is keeping them out of the starting lineup. So it's like, why are you even bringing them?
What it looks like, Juan, is it what
How
it
is that
looks
a bad?
like? Here's why it looks bad, because what it looks like all they're doing is throwing money at a problem, and they don't know what the problem is. So why bring all these guys in if they're not going to be if they're not a fit for your team?
Hold on.
Why spend all the money? I mean, if these guys aren't going to play, then
John,
why'd you bring them in at all?
So then, why wouldn't you get rid of a guy like Victor Guzman that he's already stated he doesn't want to be in the club? You know, he probably had bad experience under, you know, the previous management or
Who was that? Who was
whatever
that
it was.
management?
Victor Guzman.
Was that under Chepo and his brother?
Under maybe before Chepo, or maybe it's Vergara, maybe it's the instability.
So it was
you know what?
Everybody
we won't blame a manager.
But Nestor. Nestor is the only one
No.
to blame in that situation.
I don't want to say it's Nestor. I don't want to turn into what we'll say is Vergara's lack of leadership that is shown, where young players they cannot consolidate themselves because there was a constant management change, and we know that's true. Okay. So, Victor Guzman, what position does he play? Let's analyze it. What's he play? Center mid? Defensive mid?
Right.
Okay. Now, Chivas, last year they signed, who did they sign? Gallito Vasquez?
And Hulit.
And they've got Orbelin Pineda, who can play box to box.
And they signed him too. So
and they have
him last year too.
And they have Michael Perez, who's been keeping. Who did he keep on the bench?
He kept
Gallito
on the bench. Why are you asking me, dude? I don't watch Chivas games. Boring as hell.
I'm trying to analyze because what you guys are saying is that their signings don't make sense. So you have Victor Guzman.
I like my teams that shoot on goal.
You have Victor Guzman, who could become the fourth center mid, and the second center mid sitting on the bench. Okay, he's going to go from a team where he's starting to a team where he's probably going to sit because Michael Perez. He's
saying that
he's shown well.
You're saying that's not a good signing then. So why would they bring him back?
So exactly. So they didn't bring him back. What they did is they used him as a ficha de cambio for Rodolfo Pizarro.
So they basically said, okay, you have him on loan. You guys want to keep him? Yes or no? That's what they did. They made the other team pay for
trying
him.
to sign him for I think over a year.
Right. So it was a loan with an option to buy.
I don't think there was an option to buy. It was just a loan.
Well, then they said you're gonna buy. It was a loan with a you're gonna buy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they brought in Pizarro. You know, a guy who's
regardless
very
of how much money changed hands, right? Regardless of how much money changed hands, the announced price, and this is what's important, was $7. I don't care how much money changed hands. It was $17 million.
No, but they announced the money that changed hands is what matters.
That's maybe to the club.
No, if you want to say that,
but you're not understanding my point.
As well.
Okay, but only to the club.
If you want to argue that their finances are not managed well, that they're overpaying.
I'm not arguing. I'm arguing that they have no choice but to overpay.
That's what's being alluded to when they're saying, "Oh, hey, they're overpaying."
I'm not. Well, yeah, they are overpaying, but it's not their
actual
fault.
Money change hands is actually very reasonable.
Yeah,
I mean, you had a player for player plus some cash for, guy. Yeah, yes, he was injured. You know what? Those kinds of injuries are not the same as they were 15, 20 years ago.
Joel, how much money, in all honesty, would you pay for Rodolfo Pizarro? In all honesty,
I wouldn't go over 10.
Would you go over 5?
And that's and that's only because Mexican League there's almost no Mexican players now.
Okay, let me ask you this: how much would a European team pay for Rodolfo?
Yeah, they wouldn't go over 5.
No, they would not.
About $4 million.
At the most.
Yeah.
So you have to agree that Victor Guzman is worth 10 million or 12 million or whatever they're valuing the transfer at. Who knows? Maybe they only gave 1 million in cash and the rest of it is the valuation of Guzman.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no to that. But anyway, my point is that is that then the negotiation for whatever the next guy they bring in is going to be, okay, well you paid 17 for that guy, you're going to have to pay 20 for this guy, and then whatever the number falls down to, it's going to, again, even that number is going to be overinflated. But it's just that, Chivas has set the precedent that they are willing to pay these prices.
Yeah, that to me.
If I were Chicharito's agent, I would this Christmas, hey, what's going on? Here you're looking for a striker. Here you're throwing money around. I got a guy that maybe wouldn't mind coming back. He's had a decent career. How much do you think they would pay for him? 30?
Nah, he's probably gonna be available on a free once it's Bayern.
On a free transfer?
Yeah, once
he won't be free. He's still gonna command, because Torrado came, and this is years ago, to Cruz Azul, and he had his card. No, Torrado came to Cruz Azul.
Oh, I'm sorry.
After,
yeah, they're right.
But because Sevilla froze him out for like a year or so, so he finally he hadn't extended his contract, so Cruz Azul gave him $5 million. So,
right, that means his contract wasn't up yet. He was still under contract with them.
His contract was free.
A $5 million signing bonus.
Yeah, there you go.
So they gave it to Torrado, not to Sevilla.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not free. He wasn't free. He still paid to have him there.
Well, he's free.
And of course, $5 billion
he can sign with anybody he wants.
The announced number. There was the real number and then the tax number.
Yeah, and this is going back.
You know what? But that's standard when a player's contract is up.
So
the signing is different.
The point is that Chivas is going to make it very attractive for Mexican players if they keep paying the money that they're paying.
I don't see how that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
To me, it's a bad thing in the sense that I've been saying this already. I've been preaching it. We see how often a lot of these clubs go broke, and they're paying all these high wages.
Yeah, but you think Chivas is going to go broke? Really?
I think they have. Why you think Vergara bought the team? It was they weren't.
They've gone broke several times.
But how did he pay for it? He didn't have the money.
Through the television deal.
Yeah, so he hustled them. So the
but
wasn't
still,
broke. It was just
it was broke.
The people that were running it were ignorant.
Would you sell stock if it's making you money? I mean, it was bleeding. Nobody wanted to put, and then before he bought it, why was the promotora running it? And so it has gone.
Didn't the promotora sell all the players though when they lost the rights?
Yeah, they did, because the players belonged to them, so they were like, all right, we're out. The club didn't want to renew with promotora. Promotora said, all right, we're gonna cash out, and they sold the players.
So, Jolie, let me ask you again. You think Chivas is mismanaging their finances?
Yes.
By doing player trades plus cash?
Yes. So, everything. Look.
If they paid, what I read was, I'm trying to find the source, but it was between 5 and 6 million for Pizarro. That's the amount of cash that they paid.
A broken Pizarro. Plus, look, you have to take into account.
He's not broken.
Hold on,
he's a champion in Clausura 2016.
But his body's broken.
Come on, man.
Hey,
he's damaged goods, man. You know what he is? They bought him at the scratch and dent, but they paid Neiman market price.
You guys are crazy, man.
Hey, no, check it out. Look, this guy, you made me lose focus. But yeah, they're okay. I remember now. Not only are they paying like premiums. The wages they have to give them are like high.
You know who I feel bad for when we have to like break into this unbelievably wonky Chivas talk? I feel bad for the fans, man, because they have to listen to this stuff. It's just too much, man. It's too much.
No one's talking about it. Everyone's going with the hype. But look, before you would have on average 2 or 3 players that make about $2 million. Chivas must have like 5 or 6 now.
They have more than that.
But this is different times, Jolie. I mean,
No,
look,
man.
look at the international transfers. How much did they play? Did
Okay, we're
Manchester
talking
United
about
pay for Paul
Mexico,
Pogba?
man. We're talking about Mexico, not
Dude,
EPL,
the
not
wages
Europe.
go up everywhere.
Yes, but you got these.
I mean,
These
part of the
conglomerate AIG.
the owners, their goal is to make the Mexican league, the Mexican Premier League. That's their goal.
Okay,
that's why you have all these Argentine, all these Brazilian guys.
Yes, but when you have a Jaguares, they can't afford to pay wages. You're
Jaguares.
way off. Yes, but they're part of the league, dude. They're part of the league. So that shows you that not all the teams are there. And
look at the negotiating power between Jaguares and Chivas. Now, which club, which team can command a premium in advertising and whatever type of advertising deal?
No, but I'm telling you, we're far off from
yeah, they've done such a good job with that they have a nice shirt sponsor.
Well, they don't. But can you imagine now? Can you imagine now what kind of demand that their team's gonna have when you're signing guys like like Pulido, like Pineda?
The demand
it's obviously part of the strategy. It's obviously
national team players that are in the national pool.
You want the demand is gonna
even
come with
Pizarro,
the rating.
a youngster with all the youngster hype.
You need high ratings. If Chivas TV is getting 10 million viewers, then yes, they'll have all sorts of sponsors knocking on their door. But if you have 150K viewers on the 300,000, that's not a lot.
Right. But we're saying here is these signings, they're raising the profile a little more.
To who, man? Just
what do you mean to who? To the average Mexican team fan.
But there's
the jersey, the Cambia jerseys, the ones that one year there were
man, come on,
a Cholos jersey, there were a America jersey, a Chivas jersey.
It's just hype for a moment. When you look at Pulido, it was more hype because of he had gotten kidnapped and he 2 years in Greece where he played 14 games.
The Chivas fan base had been asking for Pulido for years and years.
Yeah, but not enough to pay $20 million for him. I mean, jeez.
Well, how much did they really pay?
Well, you're the one who has you're the one that has looked at the ledger. So why don't you let us know?
I do think it was more than 20 because Tigres was asking for 10. Tigres valued him at 10, and then Olympiacos wanted about the same. And then you need to give the agent money, and then you need to set up the player.
No, well, the agent takes his cut from overall.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
the way
these transfers work is a certain percentage goes to the club that trained the player.
Well, that depends on their
another...
carta. That's not always the case.
Wait, you're talking about a regular transfer. That's not Liga MX transfers, man. Come on.
No, dude. Even Liga MX transfers, they work this way.
Well,
it's like a commission all the way down to the youth coaches.
The problem is that Chivas had to pay a fee just to negotiate with Pulido. The only way they could talk to Pulido was to pay Tigres. They had to.
Well, they had to pay like $2 million, right?
They had to pay a door fee. They had to pay a door fee just to get him alone to talk.
Yeah, I think it was. Wasn't that announced like at $2 million a while back?
You can pretend it was $2 million.
Yeah, dude, that was announced like I think when Nestor.
So let me understand when the number is low and it benefits Chivas, then it's a true number. But when the number is high and it makes Chivas look like idiots, then it's that's not the real number.
No, I think you guys are looking at the valuation of the transfer, but not actually looking at the money that was.
Well, now hang on a second. It's after midnight now. It's Friday now, and out on the West Coast now. So as do you have to now switch over to Pachuca mode since you've you've been talking Tigres? You've been talking on Tigres Chivas on Thursday.
Add to that what he's getting in wages and all the other players, and that number keeps going higher.
Again, if this is Chivas' strategy, I'm totally fine with it. It's just, to me, it's very unfortunate for them that they do have to pay a premium. They have to pay 2 premiums actually, and so yeah, they are overpaying. But Chivas, it's always going to be every deal they make is going to be a seller's market with them.
You know what I'm gonna say, John? I think with Liga MX, you have to know how to negotiate.
Well, you have to get prudent.
and you gotta have good contacts or good. You have to have established good relationships with the other presidents, and I think that's something that the De La Torres had, just because
Dude,
how long
how
they've
could
been
they have
involved.
good relationships? They could never sign any player that they wanted.
Wait, hold on. They still
There
brought
was
in
no signings. There
what
was no
they brought
signings under
Alanis.
La Torres.
They brought Cota.
Okay, what teams are knocking at Nestor's door for him to manage to run their club?
Hey,
Okay, you don't
Nestor
know
is
that.
busy sounding like a chilango on Univision when he does the
Hold
soccer
on,
games.
dude. This guy jumps from one subject to the other. First, he's asking me what players, and then
No. You're the one saying De La
he's
Torres.
asking me what teams.
You're saying De La Torres have connections. They
do.
you know
They do,
they know how to
Gallos de
negotiate.
Cruz
So
Azul.
then
Gallos
why
de
is this
Cruz
guy still
Azul.
not employed?
Maybe he doesn't want to, dude. You have to take that in consideration. He has money, man.
Well, you have to take into consideration that if they're as good as you say, there'd be teams knocking at their door.
Once I was gonna name the players, you changed the subject. So
once you were gonna what?
Once I started naming the players he brought, you
I didn't change the subject.
Yeah, you jumped into why aren't teams knocking at his door?
No. It's when you said
I want to know how I got
that they know how to negotiate. So right away you're gonna get into
he built a nice team on a budget, dude. He didn't have to break the bank. He brought in Cota, he's been a good goalkeeper.
Hold on.
He brought in Jair Pereira, who's been a starter.
You're saying that
did he bring in Alanis too?
Alanis and Salcedo, Titan Salcedo, he got him to come back.
Where's the cantera?
He got Fabian to come back.
Where's the cantera? You're
what cantera? He can name
I don't
them.
understand.
Hey.
You're like you flip flop back and forth between
You know what cracks me up about y'all's level of relationship?
I'm not
is that you will do whatever it takes to trash like one guy and defend the other. It's hilarious. Like
both of them.
Yeah, but both of y'all. It just
both of us. Well, both of them, but both of us.
I mean, like Joel will defend. Will defend, Chepo like he fights for House Chepo and will just do whatever it takes.
I like that.
Yeah,
House Chepo, dude. The North remembers. Hey.
The North remembers. Come on.
And you.
So do they remember
with Almeida?
They remember 2006, the last campeonato, man.
That's a lot. You know how long ago that was. TVs were still in the standard.
And you know what? That wasn't even a team that they built. We'll see how he does once he has to build his own team.
What do you mean they built? They did help build it. Who you think brought Hans?
So, but that's not them building it.
What?
And for what I remember, you said that Real brought in Hans.
Wow.
Yes,
You're saying Chepo brought him in?
Yes, let me explain.
They're all part of. No, please don't, Howard. Please don't.
Yeah, no, I have to. It'll be quick. I'll be quick.
Please, no more.
No, be quick.
No more.
Promotora started the cantera, so they hired Güero Real to build it. Güero Real.
And at that point, how many times had Güero Real been fired and rehired?
No, right there he had.
Oh, that was the first. That was the first time.
We're going back to Promotora, back to like late 90s, early 2000s. So they brought in Real to build it, and Real had he had learned at Pumas. He had a good school for building canteras, man. He went to the best one there had been, and so Real had met Hans at a Toulon tournament. So he invited Hans to do a workshop for the coaches and stuff. So they were using some of the methods of the Ajax stuff. So then when Vergara bought the team and the De La Torres came in and they had Real, they recommended and they hired that guy to come in and keep working on it.
Are you finished? Oh, good. Okay, that was. All right, so
I still don't see how Nestor and Chepo get credit for Hans though, for bringing him in.
I mean, other than bringing him in, you don't understand why that was such a big deal. Aside from interviewing him, hiring him, and letting him do his thing, I have no idea why you should get credit for that.
This guy's going Pern mode.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, you guys just I just whatever positions y'all take, is you just diametrically opposed. That's why I'm glad we record the show, because about an hour ago, before we got into this, it's like we're stuck in like a Chivas whirlpool. We can't get out.
Chivas limbo.
Yeah, we can't get out. That's exactly what happened. We were on on Lost. We're like when we're getting the Chivas. We're like in.
And then the ending sucked, right?
Then the purgatory. Oh, speaking of movies, Joel, I saw Rogue One tonight.
Oh, no spoilers, please.
Man, I gotta tell you.
Come on, man.
Oh my God.
John.
What?
Diego Luna. Were you happy with him?
It shocked me that at the end of the movie,
he
and the girl and Darth Vader had like that kissing threesome at the end, just like they did in Mamá También. Because he kisses that girl, right? And then Darth kisses the girl, and then she looks at both of them and go on. And then Darth and Diego Luna start kissing each other at the end. Yeah, it was so weird. So weird. Wasn't expecting that at all. Yeah, exactly. Wasn't expecting that at all.
At the beach, right?
At the end of the movie.
At the beach house, they were drinking.
And Boca del Cielo. That's right. That's such a great movie.
You know what, John? I'm gonna tell you this. I was gonna go see it tonight, but I put the podcast
honestly,
first.
I will say it's probably out of the 8 Star Wars movie they've been. I think it's the best one. I thought it was really good.
Oh wow. I have to. Yeah, I was gonna go see it tonight.
I thought the story was absolutely terrific, and I thought it was just beautifully laid out.
Yeah, there was some worries about it because they started talking about reshoots, and then some people were worrying that maybe they needed to tone it down or they were gonna make changes.
Well, see, I think that when people my expectation was, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but I mean, if you're a Star Wars person, you understand what you're watching, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it was really, and then there's a couple of really good Easter eggs that I'm not going to tell you about that are
you know what?
Good.
I heard they did reshoot some scenes, some of the Darth Vader scenes. But I won't go into details.
Man, Darth Vader is pure like little black ball in your stomach evil. Just
no, they did him justice.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that America fans could be proud to wear their Darth Vader masks again. in the stands again, like the Raider fans used to.
Oh shit!
Man, I'm so disappointed that. Man, I thought, and I was wondering why I wasn't getting a reaction when Ronnie would talk about La Volpe. I would just put that underneath and then I'd bring it up to drown it out to make it sound like he was actually La Volpe. It just didn't work.
Yeah, it wasn't going through, John.
It did not work out. Well, next time.
Technical difficulties.
Next time I'll have to check everything. Y'all should have said something. Anyway, you sound fine. Whatever. Just like Osorio, I'm gonna instead of actually. I'm just gonna, not accept any blame and just throw y'all under the bus. Es que mis compañeros no me dijeron que el equipo no estaba trabajando y pues luego les voy a echar la culpa por no decirme que porque yo no sabía. There you go. Anyway, well, gentlemen, I think we should probably wrap it up. It's getting very late for me, and I do actually have to go to work tomorrow. But so there's a game Christmas night. Are we gonna do this Christmas night, or are you guys gonna be with your familias?
Yeah, I don't know what my schedules might be like.
Yeah.
Which
see, and again, it's just unfortunate for us because the week between Christmas and New Year is like the toughest week in the world to do anything.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a final. That's why I wish they would have gotten this this thing taken care of before the Mundial de Clubes, which you didn't even talk about tonight. And the other thing I have to say about that is, to me, que vergüenza, because when the Japanese team just goes balls to the wall against Real Madrid and comes really close to beating them, it just makes you wonder why on earth don't more people do that against teams? Like, why doesn't America play them like that? They could have easily have given Real Madrid's there. They're there as a cascarita. Don't give them that much respect. Play them. If they scorch you, they scorch you, but at least play them. Who knows what's going to happen? But don't let them. I mean, that was.
Yeah, I missed the game, but I was hearing the comments, and it all seemed like they were being too respectful.
They were playing them like an equipo chico is what they were doing. And the Antlers did no such thing. They said, "Hey man, you're in Japan and we're Japanese and we're gonna give you a hell. We're gonna vamos a hacer pesar la localía." They did. I mean, they played really well. I mean, they had the lead, man. They had them. They could have won it too. Would have been. I mean, imagine how great that would be. It would totally legitimize that tournament if the Japanese team would have won that. But at least America didn't have as bad a tournament as the Colombian team, even though the Colombian team came in third place. That would have to be a major fracaso for them.
For Nacional?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, losing to...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think before them, when was the last time the Libertadores champion didn't make the final?
A few years ago, I think one of the African teams beat them. Beat the I can't remember if it was the European team or the South American team. So, I just want 1 year for the Mexican team to win their first round game when they have the South American team in the next instead of the European team. Can that please happen just once? I'm not saying that they're not gonna have a chance against the European team. But if they're going to play with anybody, they for whatever reason they play better against South American teams than the European teams. So,
you know what? They always lose to the African teams too, though.
They do.
Or the Asian.
You know that Cameroon was the first time Mexico had beaten an African team in a World Cup.
No, I was not aware.
Yeah.
That's the first time. Is that the first time they played?
No, it was the fourth time they played an African team. And
fourth? What 78? We lost to
Tunis,
making it the first African win in the World Cup ever.
Yep.
And then we didn't go to 82.
And then in
86,
they didn't play again an African team again until Angola.
We didn't go to 90. 94, no African team.
It was Angola. They tied
98.
Angola. They tied South Africa, and then they finally beat Cameroon.
Yeah, they tied to South Africa. Yeah, it was fourth. You're right, John. I had to backtrack.
And I have to, that game should have never been as close as it was because Giovanni scored 2 very legitimate goals.
Oh man, that sucks because he could have had a hat trick.
Easy. He would have totally gone for it.
Would that probably be the first ever for a Mexican?
Well, yeah. I mean, the only person that's ever scored more than 2 goals or just 2 goals in a game was Matador. No one else has scored 2 in one game.
Yes, sir. Luis Garcia against
that's right.
Ireland.
Against Ireland. Oh, yeah. How could I forget?
94.
I was living with a bunch of. I was living with 3 other guys, and they were all American, over just off campus here in Austin, and I took the day off to watch that game, so I was at home watching it, and I thought I was by myself.
Oh.
And when Luisito scored the first one, I went just, as ape shit as I'd gone, because I hadn't seen Mexico score a goal in the World Cup in 8 years or whatever. It'd been a long time, so I went just ape shit, just all over the place, just screaming and one of my roommates just sitting there at the dining room table having his lunch. He's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Oh, it's just that was a goal in my game that I'm watching over there."
Did you get your revolvers, John, and shoot them in the air?
No, I didn't do that.
There was an Irish player. I don't know if it was Houghton, and he tried punching Luis Hernandez.
Yes, no, it was Terry Phelan.
Oh, there you go. He's running behind him, and he swings. And I think this guy was like a boxer. And he tried punching him out. I think because and this is funny. He had given him the 2-0.
Yep.
He was taunting the players with.
Well, no. Well, he got hit in the head. Luis Garcia did, and then the guy that did it, he said, "Hey," said, "You see that scoreboard?" Said, "I 2, you 0."
Yeah.
I remember that. No, that was a weird game because that was when Jackie Charlton had they had a major problem with a substitution. And you remember he was just giving it to the fourth official for 10 minutes.
I remember they came in as favorites because they had beaten Italy.
Right.
And Mexico had lost to Norway.
And then Saguinho came within within an RCH of making it 3-0, but he missed.
Man.
He missed.
Sucked.
He missed by like the not as bad as the one in Norway, but
Saguinho scored like 50 goals in qualifiers, and then
the one he missed against Norway, I will never forgive him.
He can't score in front of an open net, dude.
God, that was awful.
You know what? I remember Sage for all his misses though. For some reason,
that one was harder to miss than to score, man. That
no
ball.
kidding. All he had to do was just push it with his body. Any part of his body but his hands, it would have gone.
That ball defied gravity, man. But I remember that was exciting. It was the group of death, of death, and then Mexico plays Italy, and they were losing, and I think it's Marcelino Bernal from really far.
Yeah, he scored a great goal, and that was when Garcia Aspe just had this like rocket. That was it. Gianluca Pagliuca was the goalie, I think, for Italy.
Yeah,
and that was a good game.
That jersey that they wore.
Oh, it was a beautiful jersey.
I'd never seen it again. It had like a wing, right? It was white jersey.
Yeah.
And then the top part it looked like a wing.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like an eagle's wing. It was so beautiful.
I never seen it again, man.
That's a great uniform. No, but that Ireland game was just weird for me that I had to deal with folks that had never really been exposed to a World Cup before, so they didn't know what to expect.
And Ireland ended up not qualifying.
No, they made it out of the third.
They did.
Then they played Holland. They played Holland and lost in the round of 16.
How many third place teams would qualify?
Back then it was 4.
Oh, the U.S. qualified.
And the U.S. qualified. Ireland qualified as a third place team.
Argentina
qualified as a third place team. You're right,
Shit,
and because they got that was right after the Maradona thing.
Some of the younger kids are like, "What third place team?"
Yeah, and the fourth one was.
Well, the competition was smaller. It was 24 teams back then.
It was 20. It had just been extended 24. Or had it been?
No, it was the first 24 one was in 1982. So it was the fourth one that was, but they didn't start doing the
98
the round of 16 until 86, because in 70, I guess in 82 they did this crazy weird thing where they had 4 groups of 3 teams, and then the 3 teams played each other. So there was 3 games, and they played 2 teams.
It's crazy how they went from 24 teams, and then when France had already had the World Cup 98, and then they say, "Hey, we're going to 32 teams." And
I was fine with that.
They did a great job.
Yeah, no, that was.
But they weren't prepared because they had prepared for 24.
Right.
And they dropped 10 teams on them almost. Probably like 8 teams more, but.
Yeah, to make sure the Nets had a spot to qualify, right?
Huh?
No,
because it was a
lot of teams. They were
Mexico was the first tournament that had the 4 best third place teams to advance.
No, I mean the qualifiers for France.
Oh, when they extended it.
Yeah,
that's when a lot of the corruption of like buying the boats. So part of the way that you would get boats was like you'll guarantee the feds like a couple extra tickets. So you'll be like, okay, we're because they would boat in blocks. They'll be like, okay, what we need.
Right, because in the 70s was when Joao Avalanche figured out. Well, the reason he got elected was that he figured out that that he could get the confederations that had more members, and that way he took the power away from the Europeans.
Yeah.
And FIFA hasn't really been the same since.
All right, John. Blink twice if you got an envelope full of money.
If I personally have gotten one?
Yeah. From Bladder. Just blink twice.
From Bladder? Well, I mean, Sepp and I. we summer together in the Hamptons. So I've gotten there have been some white envelopes waiting for me, and as gift bags, a gift bag in the shape of a white envelope. All right, so this has been bugging me, so I'm going to consult the interwebs to figure out who the other third place team was.
From which World Cup?
From '94. It's been driving me crazy.
Oh, I got it in front of me.
No.
Right.
Yeah. So we said it was Argentina, the U.S., Italy, and then the fourth one was so Belgium was the third place team. Oh, that's right, because the Saudi Arabians beat them.
I remember Schifo. Enzo Schifo.
I mean, he played he was like 20 in the 1986 World Cup. So he played in 4 World Cups. 80s, because he almost scored against Mexico in '98.
See, the Italian, Belgian.
Yeah, he was great. He was a really good player. Because he was only 21 when Belgium had that semifinal run in Mexico. And by the way, if you've never seen it, Juan, watch the Belgium Russia match from the '86 World Cup. Just a phenomenal game. The goalkeeping, even though it was 4-2, the goalkeeping is outstanding. Because both teams had so many just crazy good chances that the goalies made just these crazy saves, one crazy save after another. It's a really, really, really entertaining game. And the goals themselves were terrific. Belanov scores a goal that he runs from right to left at the top of the box and then shoots across the goal to the other corner and just hits the corner of the post that holds the netting up inside the goal.
Yeah.
He hits the end of that just perfectly. Like the ball just the goalie didn't even move. It is a crazy good goal. That's a great game. Highly recommend that game for you folks that didn't start watching World Cups till the '90s. I would watch the 1986 Belgium-Russia game.
I think most started in the 2000s, John.
Don't make me feel old.
There used to be a
We're in
Nintendo
the
game.
same club.
I don't know if you guys played Nintendo, but like Belgium and Russia were like the powerhouses in that game.
What was it called? Because I played one.
Fuck, I don't remember, dude. But the graphics were.
When Nintendo, it was 8-bit, and they had one game that you would power up the shot and you could knock out the players.
I don't know if
Was
it was
that
that
one.
Oh,
it?
I remember that.
And it was kind of dumb because after a while the players were knocked out, and the ball would just lie there. The players didn't have that much movement.
I'll tell you another game that should be required viewing for everybody is the one that was at the Azteca in 1970, the semifinal between Germany and Italy. Another just crazy good game. They played it so elegantly back then. They were such gentlemen when they played. It was violent, but it was only violent when it had to be. They let each other pass, and they had like each had just gobs of shots on goal. It was a very good style. It's a great game too. Last second heroics from both teams, just nuts. Franz Beckenbauer has a disabled or a dislocated shoulder, so he plays after the injury the rest of the game with a hand strapped to his shoulder to his chest, and he plays the rest of the game. Have you ever seen pictures of that, Juan?
No, friends
of Beckenbauer playing with his arm slung to his chest. Yeah, he played the whole second half and the extra time like that.
I've seen a picture.
I might have in the past.
Yeah, that was it's a great game. I highly recommend it. Boys, it is 2:30 my time. I probably need to get going.
It was fun to reminisce, though.
But we had a great show tonight. I really enjoyed it. I wish that I wish these games, I understand why the games start at 9 p.m. in Mexico, because that's when folks get home from work, and I get that. But man, it really kills us. So.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Sheesh.
But at least the Sunday one will be at 7. But we're not going to be able to chat because it's going to be Christmas and everyone's going to be with their with their familiares.
Who would listen to us on Christmas, John?
Well, I mean, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so I mean,
dozens of people.
I guess the only thing more pathetic than podcasting on Christmas night is listening to people podcast on Christmas night. That's harsh. That's harsh. Well, on that happy note, and this is a holiday edition, so we do want to wish everybody I'll definitely wish y'all a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Joel. Merry Christmas, Juan.
Thank
Hope
you,
you guys
John.
get to spend some quality time with your familiar units.
Thank you, John. Merry Christmas, dude.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Is Santa coming by, Juan, or your kids on the permanent naughty list?
Nah, Santa came by there.
Yeah, they made the cut.
Barely.
Yeah. Santa got the approval email.
Yeah.
Did you ever threaten your kids with, I'm going to have to email Santa Claus?
When they were younger.
Yeah. Did it work?
No. You know what? The little one, it doesn't work with her. She's bragging about, I'm borderline on Santa's list.
Really?
Borderline.
Yeah, dude, she's something else, man.
That's hilarious. How old is she?
5.
And she thinks she's on could be on the naughty list. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, dude, she knows. She was laughing about it. I don't know, dude. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Wow. Well, I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Joel, good talk to you, man.
Always a pleasure, John.
You know, I have to pull this thing out of the Chivas the Chivas vortex. You guys are very passionate. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, this has been the CantinaMX podcast. Really, thank you guys. If you've stuck around this long on this podcast, then we really do appreciate it. We will talk to you guys probably in New Year. You guys enjoy the rest of your holiday. Thank you very much.